What's up, everybody? Hey, I sound like I'm fucked up. Maybe that's better for me. Yo, one of y'all nasty. Who did that? Who did that? No, it wasn't me. We on.
That's how we're starting the episode, huh?
Yeah, that's how we started the episode. By someone ripping ass.
That wasn't me, man. I'm not gonna say I don't do that, but I didn't do that today.
Right now. I'm sure you did sometime today. Welcome back, everybody. We are live on the YouTube. If you're on the YouTube in the chat, say what's up. We got a cool little episode planned. We got the usual suspects. We got Nick. We got Chad. We got CJ. Having a little sippy sip. And, so we got a kind of a topic, but we're also going to just freestyle it a little bit. Probably, the way the things go. Chad hit us up with a something in our group chat the other day talking about, like, what was the best advice we ever gave or we've ever received. And Chad, one, I'd like to know, like, what piqued that thought in your head. I think I have an idea, maybe. But you go ahead and let us know. And then, we'll let you kick it off with if you got anything or any best advice. And then we'll kind of go around the table. And, you know how it flows. So, and if you're in the chat, if you're watching on YouTube, let us know in the chat what is the best advice you've ever received or you've ever given that you think you've given. Because then you got to, like, quantify that, right? Like, did somebody come back and tell you, hey, that thing you told me, like, that's the best thing I ever heard, right? So, Chad, why don't you go ahead and let us know, like, what spurred that?
So I was just scrolling through social media, and it happened to be a good day on social media. I think people were posting all these positive things and positive, like, those pictures that come in where it's like some Bible verse or something that inspired them, inspirational quotes type of thing. So I was looking at all that, and then I was thinking about conversations that we've had about different things and that I've had with other people. And I was thinking, what did somebody say that inspired me or that motivated me or that was just good advice? And I remember a few years ago, I think I probably already shared the story on the podcast, but the best advice I was ever given, long story short, was balance in life and in everything you do. Definitely not something that I've mastered or even come close to figuring out completely, but something that I always try to work on and always strive to be better at is balancing family, work, fun, friends, you know what I mean? Hobbies, whatever it is that I'm doing, just trying to not allow one thing to overtake my life and then start trampling on other things.
What who told you that? Because I mean, like, a lot of people could say that, right? Like, I'm sure we've all heard it, we've all told people, but where did you hear it from? Where it stuck? Like, oh shit! Like, finally, I need to do that. Right, because sometimes we hear shit a lot of times from people, right? And then it's finally we hear it from the right person where it's like, okay, I could actually believe that motherfucker when he says it, right? So who was that for you?
Yeah, so little backstory. We were grinding on Guam, working 7 days a week, every week. And as the only chief in the shop, I was, monitoring all 3 shifts. They were working 24 hours at times, and it had nothing to do with me not trusting my guys. It had everything to do with me not trusting the people that my guys had to deal with. And when I say my guys, my sailors, right, male and female. At the same time, my personal life had just destructed, so going through the divorce and all the drama that comes with that, trying to take care of my kids, but then knowing that I'm at work and where I used to know that they were with their mom, now I don't know that. And I got to figure things out, how to balance. At the time, I didn't even recognize it as needing to balance, but how to complete the mission, right, and do what I had to do for the Navy because I was active duty, just made chief maybe a year before. And this retired Master Chief, one of the hardest working dudes I ever met, he pulled me aside one day, and he just kind of stopped me, like, hey, wait a minute, let's talk about this. You got a lot of shit going on in your life right now. And you're still here. Why are you here? It was like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night.
Ew, what the fuck were you doing there?
Trying to get an EP.
It had nothing to do with that, man.
Fucking first years.
Anyway. So
Who's your sponsor, bro?
So I was there. Get it in.
Sorry.
I was there working, and he stopped me, and he was like, "Hey, this boat is going to go out to sea with or without you being here to support this evolution. You don't need to be here. You need to go home and take care of your kids. Figure out life, because without that, you can't do this." Which he was right, because I was starting to make some mistakes, you know what I mean? Starting to slip, being distracted, missing little details. So, yeah, it was a retired Master Chief. I'm not going to say his name, but huge impact on my life. Definitely changed the trajectory of where I was going mentally for myself. Changed in the long run. It ended up having a major effect on my relationship with my kids now, right? And in really all aspects of my life. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying my life is perfect, but a lot of the problems that were introduced to my life by not having that balance and not understanding what that meant, those problems don't exist anymore. A lot of them, right?
Where were your kids, man? Like they were with your ex, right?
Nah, so sometimes, right? But
Damn.
I don't want to make this an episode about...
No, I know that, but it's just like, you know, like you at work 2100, like, yeah, like, what the fuck?
No, so they were...
That's wild.
They were
No, not so much about the kids. But I understand they're probably being taken care of, but like, yeah, yeah, that's something. I don't know. That's just crazy, right? That you were so out of balance at that time.
Oh, I was.
But I
was
suspect
lost.
like a divorce or something can do that, right? Like
Yes, it can.
not having gone through one, but it can throw you out of a bad spot like that.
But I want to say, in my situation, I had no balance to begin with.
Okay.
And then the divorce thing started happening. Now, knowing now what I know now, that divorce was inevitable, right? It was going to happen eventually. I didn't know it at the time, so I did everything I could do to be the best, man I could through that process. But balance was a key. So that was something that it's advice that I give any chance that I see, but it's something that I received and held on to.
Since then?
Yeah.
That's good. CJ, you got anything?
I think what Chad said was profound, man. Like, a lot of people probably need to hear that, because I think a lot of people, especially military, struggle with that 100%. I don't. So, with this being a topic, I did try to think about something that someone said to me that really stuck out. I've had good advice throughout my career. When you say the most important, that's where I really struggle with, because, nothing stood out as, wow, that was the most important. There was a lot of good advice I had throughout my military career, though. But I would probably say the thing I came up with that I know played an impact in my life was my dad, right before he died. Like, we're in the hospital. Not like the moment before he died, but like we're in the hospital. He's fully coherent. We're conversating. But, we know that he wasn't doing well. He had a lot of illnesses and a lot of sickness and stuff. But he's met my wife a few times, and she came to visit the States a few times. And at the time, I think I was like 27, and she was like 23 or something like that, 24. And he had a one-on-one conversation with me, and he was like, I'm not gonna be here forever, but the one piece of advice I want to give you, considering your situation, marrying someone from another country who's also younger than you, he said, patience. That's the number one thing that's gonna get you through this marriage. And at the time, I'm 27. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't hit me like that. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, I'm 38. And I'm like, that's what he meant. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like,
sir.
that shit was so much more profound than I thought when he said it. When he said it, I was just like, patience. Like, I got patience, Really, I don't. You know what I'm saying? But even more so, it just didn't hit me as hard until he died that year. And then, like I said, that was years ago. And now, like I said, man, just being married all these years, it's like, yeah, patience. And I don't want to just say because she's not necessarily from this country, which she's a citizen now. Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah, but not just because of that, but it's just, being married in general, man. Patience, bro. Like, best best advice that I could give my kid now, I realize, it's like, hey, when you're married, number one thing you're going to need is patience. You know what I'm saying?
Did you have something? I thought you gonna say something.
No, it looked like you was about to expand on that.
Oh, I was gonna ask, like, your mother's Korean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is that lesson learned
Exactly.
that he was passing on, right?
He was in the military. He married a foreigner. Me never thinking in my wildest dreams that I would marry a foreigner. And he told me that when I got orders to Japan. He was like, man, you're going to come back married. And I was like, hell no. Like, you know what I'm saying? My oldest, I had a son when I was in high school. His mom is black. And all the girlfriends I had up to that point were black or Hispanic. I was like, hell no. You know, and then I went over there, bruh. A month after touching down, I met my wife.
Was your first Asian?
No, not first Asian, but
That's a horrible question, by the
yeah.
way.
Because I was
No,
in San Diego before that.
Okay,
so I
okay.
had met some Filipinos and shit.
Okay,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying?
But that's like, ain't that Pacific Islander?
I ain't gonna
They
get into
consider-
that.
I don't know, man.
I ain't gonna get into that.
But yeah, you know, it's interesting that you did notice that because I am half Korean and half black.
Yeah.
I realized that as well. I was like, he knew to say that to me because he understood the barriers and the issues and the.
Oh,
That's
man.
how your ass got here.
Yeah, exactly. That's how my kids got here. Yeah.
Well, I like.
I feel like you feel me on that.
Oh, yeah. My wife's Chinese.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you feel
Off
me
the
on
boat.
that. Yeah.
Chinese. Like, she
Yeah.
didn't grow up here. She didn't have any Americanization until she got, I wouldn't even say Saipan, when she got to Guam. Then
Yeah.
she started.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's been a journey. We'll say that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the cultural differences, the language barriers, like the maturity difference, right?
Patience.
Um,
Patience, right? All of that requires patience, bro.
Yeah. So, but I want to give you some advice right now.
Go ahead.
Don't ever pray for patience, because
What does that mean?
God will provide you opportunities.
Over and over and
To
over
grow,
again.
right?
Right?
That's the way around God.
Yeah, right. That's the way. I get what he's saying.
I don't think
I'm
you
messing with
subscribe
you.
to the podcast, so I think we can. No,
Yeah.
Dang, they figured me out. That Chad.
no, man. I used to pray for patience
Can't
all the
use that
time,
now.
and it just seemed like I was constantly getting stretched and trying to figure out, like, where's all this patience at?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? This week was harder than last week,
Yeah.
and I'm still standing. You know what I mean? So, wisdom. That's all I want.
Keeping it in the in this realm of like marriage advice, which kind of balance, right? Family, work, what your dad said. Nick, did you ever receive some?
As far as like marriage,
Just anything revolving around that? Because I got one that I'll share before you share, because you might need to think about it. I don't know. You
no,
look
you,
at.
go ahead. You go ahead.
So some one he was one of my senior chief on my ship when I was dating Nikki still in Hawaii. His wife was Filipina, right? He'd met her wherever he met her in the Navy, right? His wife, and he had told me, he was like, "Hey, when y'all get married," and I was like, "Yo, slow down, senior, okay? Like, we ain't talking all that." Here we are, you know, fucking Chula Vista with 2 kids and marriage and all that good stuff, right? But he was like, "Yo, why you gonna pull it out my spot, like doxing me like that, bro? No, that's not where I'm at."
He said that won't make the editor's cut.
But like he was like, "Yo, like don't," and he meant it the best way. But he was like, "Don't stay right next to her family. Like move." He was like, "Just move away, and just you guys go figure yourselves out, right? Like whatever it's gonna be, like go figure it out with just you two." And he put me up on. I mean, he was a white dude. But he was like, "Look, man, this is like what I've learned as being part and adapting to their culture and learning things. These are things that I've learned. And what I would say to you is if you guys do get married or you want to take it the next step or something, that you guys go and establish your marriage by yourselves away somewhere else."
Is her family in San Diego?
No, her family's not in San Diego. Her family's still in Hawaii. We're about to go there next week and visit them for the holidays and everything. So we're really looking forward to that. And like me and my in-laws were great. I love them, like great relationships. And I ain't gonna say like, I mean, I moved here to San Diego solo, hoping that she would follow. And I took orders here, so because she was like, "Yeah, I'd like to get out of Hawaii, and if you go there, like we could stay together, and I would eventually follow you in like this rough time frame and stuff, right?" So I was like, "All right, I'm down for that." And I ain't gonna say it was like because, I knew I was going to marry her. We were kind of on that track of like, if we're going to do this, then it's for real. And why else are we doing it? Right? Like, you don't date for 3 years and be like, hey, I want to move to San Diego with you just to keep dating. Right? Like, that don't make sense. So, those were the intentions. But, maybe by some kind of weird way, it ended up like we ended up staying here in San Diego, getting married and all that stuff. And, but never with the intention of like what he told me of like, because he was like, take her away, like kind of like kidnap her away from the family, right? If she's like, hey, I want to stay stationed only here because my family is here, that's his advice was against that, right? And Nikki was never one to be like, hey, I only want to live in Hawaii on Oahu, right? Like she like it's great, it's beautiful, it's a great place to visit now. But she was ready to expand her horizons and do her thing, babe, don't kill me. So like building off of that, like kicking it back over to you, Nick, like, did you get anything like that or not like that, but you know what I'm saying? Like did Pops was like, hey son, before you get married, this or that, or anything, a friend?
So, I didn't tell my dad I was getting married. I just went ahead and got married. And then I called my mother and was like, hey, I'm married. And my mother thought, I play around a lot. So my mom was like, all right, boy, quit joking. I was like, nah, I'm serious. Like, I'm married. And then I was avoiding my dad's calls. And the reason why, like hindsight, looking back, I didn't want to hear oh, don't do it. Like, I wanted to make my decision. And I made it based on how I felt. If that makes sense. I didn't want to be swayed.
Yeah.
Or I didn't want to hear none of that shit. So that was I didn't it was too late. It was too late to get advice.
How old were you?
I was 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was 19.
Yep.
Thinking I knew everything, or
course.
thinking I knew something, but obviously I didn't. And throughout that, I got a whole bunch of it's the
Yeah.
Spice Bomb. That's what he smelled on me.
Oh, okay.
You wear Spice Bomb?
Yeah.
I got Spice Bomb.
Night Vision.
I'm wearing Creed right now.
Wearing Creed. Spice Bomb Night Vision by Victor.
Do you know
Roth.
what Creed is?
Yes, I do. It's to me, it's a lot of hype.
I love
a
it.
little bit.
And people, it's one of the few colognes where people stop me because we talked colognes before.
Right. I'm
It's
a connoisseur.
Yeah, it's one of the few colognes where people literally just stop me. Like I've had women say, "I just want to follow you."
Wait till you retire, dude.
Hey,
Is it what?
Y'all.
no, hey, Josh, listen to me,
Creed is a $500 bottle of cologne.
Yeah.
Like it's a really good cologne.
Listen,
It really is.
I got this cologne that I'm gonna say I'm not going to name drop it,
I got one also.
but
Anyway,
listen, I'm gonna give you 2 examples.
Here's some advice coming out hot off the press.
Yes.
I was at work, was in the hall, left that building, went to another building. She walked this chick walk in. She say, "Were you over there at such and such?" I said, "Yeah, I just came from over there." She said, "I know because I smelled you." And I was like, she was like, "Oh, it smells like blah blah blah. Nick must be around."
did she know it?
Yeah, she knew what it was. She said it smells like Nick must be around. And then, like last week I'm leaving the house. I'm going out. I'm going downtown. Person where I stay at walked by me, but I guess they walked through my trail. Stopped me. Hey, what you wearing? Oh, I got on. Hey,
Spice Bomb, Night Vision.
no, that wasn't that.
That's
know,
the
I'm just
all
making
black
fun of
bottle,
you.
right? I got the black and gold one.
Black with the green tint to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it. I got the black and gold one. That's the original one.
Yeah. What you wearing? Creed Virgin Water?
That's not what it's called. It's called Creed.
Pull it out your pocket.
I don't have it on me.
Go get it out your car. You know you got it.
No, I
But,
don't.
Y'all keep cologne in your car like
my
you're 16
my
still, huh?
cologne in my car is for my car.
Like y'all 16.
Yo,
Hey,
I swear to
where your
God,
curve at?
I got cologne.
You
for
keep
my
a bottle of curve in your fucking car, for that little
Nah,
spritz.
But I try to stay away from the high end name brand, like not to, you know what I'm saying, like I don't want to smell like everybody, like, you know what I'm saying. Yes,
But see, that's
pheromones
the thing.
matter and all of that.
That's what I like about, like, I have a collect, and I don't want to cut you off, but I know for a fact there's not a lot of people that wear Creed. I know that because the smell is it's such a specific smell. Like, I would know it if I smelled it. Just like, we were at the Next,
Yeah.
and
The Paco Rabanne. The
no,
$1 million?
no, the $1 million. When she sprayed it, I already knew what it was, and I was like, I have that cologne, and she was like, I love this cologne, and then you smelt it, and you were like, I don't know this one or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I would know it, and in my circle, at least where I move, nobody wears Creed. Anyway, that's not even that important. Let's just move on.
No, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning
Creed
so
is a very
much.
good.
I'm learning
Yeah,
so
It's
much
a very good cologne.
about cologne. There's Creed and Night Radar Vision,
No, Night Vision.
Spice Bombs.
Spice Bomb.
Is that a bath? Do you put that in
No,
your
that's-
bath?
that's
It
the name of
actually
It's
it looks like a little
grenade.
grenade, man. And to squirt it, you have to pull the tab on it, squirt, and then you put the tab back on.
Yeah.
I was just sitting here thinking the only time I've ever been asked, were you just in that building? Was always followed up with, you need to take a shower. They didn't say.
But I didn't listen, so I didn't have any. I jumped every gun,
Yeah.
so I
You didn't even give people the opportunity to try to
Right.
give you advice.
Right, and looking back, I'd have did things differently. Obviously, nobody gets married to be divorced. I mean, but it's hard when you're getting so much. No, I'm playing, man. We already touched on that. That was early in season 1. But I wish I would have took my time and did things differently.
Yeah.
But as far as advice, though, okay. Yes, I listened to my dad. Like, me and my dad we tight. Currently not speaking right now to each other, but that's, you know what I'm saying?
Happens.
Yeah, that just happens because we're both stubborn. So it's like, I ain't calling him. I want to text him like, yo, you see that? Because of the game or whatever. Like, his Braves just won the World Series. Yeah, although we're not talking, I still got him the little kit, the little World Series check.
Mhm.
I got him that, and
Yeah.
that'll spark a conversation. Because then he got to call me. So I won.
You stupid,
You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
So, but the biggest advice was, it's cool to be cool. He used to always say that to me. Like, I remember in the 2nd grade, he used to, I'll be mad about something or whatever. Nick, it's cool to be cool. It's cool to be cool. So then you get older, you understand, like, oh, okay, it's cool to be, you know what I mean?
Hey, keep it going. I gotta check. I can hear Mikey down there. So y'all just keep it flowing.
You can hear, you know what I'm saying? You get in situations, you know what that means. You know, keep your head, whatever. Like, it's okay to be cool. But then, like, you don't really understand it, like, really, until I reached a point of, like, being what? I'm 35 years old now. I just stopped reacting to people or situations, or like I just don't give a fuck. Like and when I find myself in a situation where I feel like I was wronged or whatever, it's like whatever.
Mhm.
So a couple
Is that
months,
like your way of like coming to terms with like what you can control or what you can't?
Hell yeah.
So it's
Yep.
just like whatever.
whatever.
That's healthy.
Yeah, and I realized that because I used to try my hardest to like argue somebody, or try to, you know, get my point across, or this is what it is, and it's like, for what? In the history of arguing, no one, especially a friend, a loved one, or your spouse, has ever just stopped and said, "Man, you right." It's never happened. It won't happen. Like, even right now, did I just stop and be like, "You right, man"? Everybody, we were arguing back and forth about how many people had Creed or like, not arguing, but like you were on your side with it. I was on my side with it. But like I don't care.
You know what? It's interesting you say that because I've expressed my concern, I guess is the word to use, about some of the things I've said on this podcast over the numerous times I've been on it. And all of that really stems from not really being comfortable on how it might project. You know what I'm saying? Like for someone who's not sitting here in the conversation with us. But, man, I lost my train of thought. What were we saying?
About being cool, not caring,
Yeah.
arguing.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. Like I think ultimately the reason I feel that way is because you know that old saying when
Can't tell who's a fool.
when two people are arguing,
You both look like fools.
you both look like fools. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I constantly feel like, man, that podcast, you know
So-
what I'm saying?
so you who?
Yeah.
I mean, you definitely were the fool that day. And I won. But seriously.
But so you know what though?
back to
No, I'm not even gonna say it, man. I'm not gonna say it because you literally just contradicted what you just said earlier. But whatever, man.
But so fast forward, we at work, right? We got this. I'm part of this investigation, right? It was this high-ranking person, very high-ranking, who was the lead on the investigation, right? And it was three of us: the high-ranking person, myself, and a civilian. Her job is legal. So we weren't getting, me and her was on the same page. He was on a different program. So we're getting questions from our boss, and we like, hey, you know how I go in the military. Like we getting answers from our boss, and we like, well, it's on him. It's on this person. So she said, I'm really getting pissed off because he's such and such. She going in, right? And Captain look at me, he say, well, I'm glad you said that. He said, I understand your frustration. He said, but the hotter you are, the cooler you gotta be. And I looked at him and was like, I looked at it, at Captain, like, yeah, I like that. Like it was kind of like
It's
that.
cool to be cool.
Yeah, and then he was like, right, Chief? And I was like, I mean, yeah. I was like, I like that.
Yes, sir.
No,
Definitely. That's exactly.
absolutely not. It was, yeah.
I was about to say the same thing myself.
You don't call him sir?
I do, but not in that setting. I didn't. I checked out. It was back to me and it was in a moment where I was
Yeah.
Pops.
Go ahead.
I get
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You were more
When
impressed.
you said absolutely not, that's when I was just like, oh, is that a hard like line in the sand you drew?
No, in that moment, it
Yeah.
was. I didn't. It was no military anything. It was like, yeah, I like that. Like I get it. And it was like and he was like, I mean, cause how are you going to operate? And I mean, this is things I know, but to hear somebody else from a different walk of life, you know what I'm saying, say the same thing, like it's like, yeah, that's factual.
I'm not sure growing up as a kid you could get better advice than that. Right? Being
Yeah.
cool is cool because that will take you through your whole life.
For your whole entire life.
Right? The whole
Keep
life.
your hands to yourself is a good one too.
No, well,
Sometimes you gotta, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You gotta tune somebody up.
Yeah, but we know what we're talking about. Keep your hands to yourself.
So I always told my kids.
Don't touch it. That ain't yours. Keep your hands to yourself.
I always told my kids, I didn't have nothing profound like it's cool to be cool, but I always told them, if you're getting angry, you have to calm down before you readdress the situation. Like, if you let your emotions control your actions, you're always going to regret it.
And you always gonna lose.
Yeah.
So that cool to be cool piece, right? I mean, y'all can hijack it, y'all can steal it. You know where you got it from.
consider it stolen.
Right. I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about
Okay,
To the chat.
to the Bravo Zulu family.
Yeah. Yeah.
That plays in the part, and that goes hand in hand with the reacting because you're mad. Like, why would I get mad that you're mad? Like, how you being upset yelling? Why am I upset and yelling?
Right.
Like, Chad's mad, not me.
Right.
Well, sometimes people want to see who yelled louder.
Right. And when you do that, you open the door to be controlled.
I know that all of you have heard the expression, the loudest person in the room wins the argument. That's not always true. Yeah, have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I heard that.
Right. So,
Well, if it's me.
yeah. But the loudest person in the room, more often than not, is going to be the most ignorant in the room, right? Because that volume and that aggression, in my opinion, stems from emotion, right? Otherwise, you would sit down and have the conversation. But we all get excited. We all get heated.
Right.
You know what I mean? I remember an example of being at a season meeting. And this senior enlisted personnel walked in the room, and there wasn't a lot of people at the meeting. Probably less than a third, maybe less than a quarter of the mess was in the room. And he got mad because several people were volunteering for different committees, but like 2 or 3 or 4 committees these people were volunteering for. And he got up in front of the room and started yelling at everybody, dressing everybody down. Like, you guys need to start stepping up. Like, I see the same 5 or 6 people raising their hand.
I was at this meeting.
You might have been. I was trying to not be so.
Were we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I was. I don't remember that one.
Yeah, because I know what you're talking about.
But anyway, so
I don't even know if my command had a holiday party. Bro, like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Did they? Have y'all heard anything, bro? I don't know.
You ain't go to y'all khaki ball?
I didn't go to khaki ball either, man.
Hey, yo, he don't even know what khakis are right now. Like,
I have no idea. I
Look
swear
at
to
this
God,
guy.
I was wondering.
Look
I
at
was
this
just
guy.
like, did we have a holiday party, bro?
Can you fit in your khaki?
I don't know, man. I tell you what, I was good to go for all of COVID, man. In the past month and a half,
Retirement's been good.
no, after that last PFA, bro, I just,
Fuck it.
I've been chilling.
Yo, are you gonna look like when you full retire? Oh shit, I lost a light. That's fine. We still good. Are you gonna blow up?
No, I'm.
Are you gonna be like back in Texas,
He's
barbecued out?
No,
like
I'm
he's
confident.
I'm talking about barbecuing.
No, you know what? You know
several
what
different
happens?
ways.
Yeah, you know what happens? It's one of 2 ways. Either you lose a lot of weight or you gain a lot of weight. And I don't know, but I'm guessing I'm probably going to lose a lot of weight because of the things that I do as far as, because I'm still military right now, you know? Like, I keep saying I'm
are you though?
teleworking
Are
and
you?
I don't really know what's going on.
You don't even know where your uniform's at right now.
You don't even know if your command had a holiday party.
I don't. I really don't. Y'all think I'm capping. I'm dead serious. I have no idea. But
I believe you.
yeah, dead ass. But even still, like, I'm not as free as I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still
Right.
military. Like, there's a lot of things I would like to, do, but I'm not doing because I'm still military. You know what I'm saying? So, but I don't know, man. Who knows?
Well, keep not doing them.
This is heavy for me, and I'm still in great shape. Like, you know what I mean? I just know that. You know
I
what I mean?
noticed
So,
you wore the big jacket over tonight. That's why I
yeah, man.
think that's why.
I've been putting on some pounds, man.
Go ahead. Go
After
ahead.
that last PFA, but hey, it's all with a smile, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
Fuck, if you happy, who fucking cares,
I'm
right?
very I still care though. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, you can care, yes, but I'm saying like I'm fucking.
It's
I
not
got
anything
it.
I wear on my sleeve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't wear it on my sleeve. I'm very happy right now.
So when we talk about this advice, and I know I missed a little bit in there, so if I'm doubling up, let me know. But as we said, like advice that people gave us, kind of seemed like a lot of revolved around marriage stuff. Maybe because that's what's the most important to us, right? Like where we're at in life. Nick, you jumped the gun there, so you weren't able to receive it. Start off with you again, though, like giving advice. Let's do 2 parts of this for you, Nick. What would Nick now, today, tell 19-year-old Nick about that? And then, have you ever given any other advice to anyone, or what is the advice you give? Like, what's your go-to advice for a young sailor, young man, woman, whatever it is, right? Because I think a lot of times in our job, we get caught up in this, like, always addressing sailors, right?
Yeah.
As, oh, hey, you need to re-enlist, and that's my best advice for you. But like, like we sat down at the table over on the food court one day, right? Like, are we recognizing the person, the human, right, that man or woman, and giving them advice that is, I forgot to switch the camera, my bad, y'all. Giving them advice, the best advice we can based on their exact situation. Yo, Chad. Close up. Can you open that back door for me when you get a chance? Yeah.
Hence the word back.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, y'all. Doing things. Yeah, so let's start off with, like, you talking to 19-year-old Nick.
Me talking to 19-year-old Nick.
Yeah.
Not a sailor, but myself. Like me, because it changes.
Well, you were in the Navy already.
Yeah, I was in the Navy already.
Yeah, so, I mean, either way. Like, I mean, because you're doubling up there, right? You could talk to 19-year-old person Nick, but you could also talk to Seaman Nick as Chief Nick, right? So, like, what are you telling them?
Don't get married. And I'm not anti-marriage. First of all, marriage is a beautiful thing. What you and Nikki got, dope, beautiful. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not joking. Like, that's you're. I think you're a good husband to her. I think she's a good wife to you. That's why I enjoy being around your family. So
Appreciate that.
I'm being clear on that. Marriage is a beautiful thing. But at 19 years old, you don't even know who the fuck you are. Who you are at 19, it's not who you're going to be at 23, not who you're going to be at 27, not who you're going to be at 32, not who you're going to be at 35.
Yes, sir.
So every 36 months, you and your spouse are relearning each other.
Mm-hmm.
Constant cycle. And then you got to think, if there's a cultural difference, you got to throw that in there.
Mm-hmm.
Rates. Some rates are male dominant. So you got a young lady who's never been around this many males before, and that are every day they calling your girl pretty.
They're all thirsty.
Every day she's hearing how beautiful she is. Every day she's hearing, like, you don't want to deal with that. And then, not to mention, let's say you're not even fucking up at home. This is how I break it down to him. You're not even fucking up at home. Let's just say y'all just beefing, whatever. She's leaving the house, going into a field where she's being looked at as if she's the prettiest woman on earth. You open it. I'm not saying.
Can I ask one question real quick?
Go ahead.
Was your ex military first?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, you're just saying.
I'm saying it. I'm talking to the sailors because
not 19-year-old Nick.
No, I'm talking to not 19-year-old Nick. 19-year-old Nick was don't get married. That was
it. Point.
It.
Okay.
But for the sailors,
Okay. Don't marry another sailor.
don't marry another sailor,
But what about a civilian?
and don't marry a civilian
Okay.
as well.
Not at 19.
Not at 19. You don't know who the fuck you are. You don't know what you're doing.
Let me ask another question.
What's up?
Because I think everything you said is very profound. I never heard anybody say every 36 months you have to relearn your spouse. Like, I can feel that. I felt that. But with that being the case, what's the difference between getting married at 19 and 19 being a different person from who you were at 22 as opposed to
27, 28?
27 and who you are at 30?
I'm glad you asked that, CJ. Your maturity level, being able to filter out what's bullshit, what's real shit. Is this worth arguing over? Is this not? Everything isn't a problem. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
First of all, the majority of young sailors, they fall in love with their shipmate. They find love at work.
A hopeless place.
Josh, how old are you, bro?
I'm 35, about to be 36.
How long you been married?
Shit, 2013,
So
Ooh.
what is that? 8 years?
2015. I mean,
All right, we'll come back to you on that one.
You-
Pull out your phone real quick.
yeah. But
2015.
and the reason why I say that is because, all right, so here's my example. You got a sailor from, let's say, the country, right? Pick any one of them dumbass southern states, Texas, Arkansas.
First off,
and-
Texas
Texas
isn't the South.
is the South.
Only
but
Houston.
never referred to as
It's
dumb.
debated. It's widely
Um,
debated in the country.
Nah,
today.
but I'm just messing with you.
We are literally the third coast of the United States.
Right. But say
East,
you know,
west, and southern coast.
Mississippi, Arkansas, Georgia, cows, chickens,
Who
ducks.
draws that weird
Tennessee.
line that says it stops at Texas?
Right.
Like,
It doesn't.
Ten-
It's only
we're
Houston.
literally the most southern
Right.
state in the United States of America.
Places where, hey,
Literally, look on
hold
the
on,
map.
hold on.
Hey,
Look at the map. and
Stick with
debate that.
Nick. Stick with Nick.
so you got these sailors from there, right? Then let's say you get this sailor, let's say he's from this area, right? He meets a woman who's a young lady who's Puerto Rican and she's from the Bronx. You're both young. She grew up a certain way. Obviously, there's differences based off of regions alone and how you grew up.
Yeah.
What he grew up seeing as the ideal marriage is different than what she grew up seeing as the ideal marriage.
Yes. of course.
So that's a problem.
Well, it's
Let
not
alone the
not
fact that,
not
you know,
necessarily a problem.
That's not a problem. That
but
could
it's
be a conflict.
it's a hurdle,
It's a hurdle.
right?
There we go.
It's
Yeah.
a marker.
It's
Right.
a
So you're
hurdle.
saying geographical culture plays a factor in
When you're young, yes.
individuals getting
Well, shit, always,
Yeah,
always.
too.
always.
Yeah.
But I say more significant when you're young
Mhm.
because you're still in that mind frame
Mhm.
until you got to realize.
Uncultured.
Yeah, you're uncultured. So he wants soul food. She don't know how to make soul food. She want a bacon, egg, and cheese from the bodega. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, her soul food is different. Her soul food might be the red beans and the rice and some chicken and you know and all that
Right.
in a specific her growing up cultural
Right.
style.
And we're just-
And his is like, what are you talking about? Like, I need that in some grease
Right.
at 350 for 5 minutes.
And this
You
is
know,
just
like-
us dumbing it down on a
Yeah.
lower scale. But
Yeah.
we're just using this as an example. So then you have that. Man, y'all get together. Let's just call it what it is at first. It was lust. And you trying to make it love.
Mm-hmm.
At 19, 20, you don't know what love is. You still don't know what love is. Love is not, yeah, you love your mom, you love your sister, your brother, your dog, your cat, all of that, yeah. I'm talking about love, the love where that person isn't. See, in marriage, there are no filters. Instagram, Facebook, you got filters. You can make yourself look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could do all of this. But when you wake up in the morning without the makeup, when your breath stinks, or when you see who this person is
Mhm.
for real, you got to learn that love isn't about looks. It's about, like, we're going to make it through this. This is my partner. This is my homie, lover, friend. It ain't always roses, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's your homie. Like, y'all cracking, making jokes. Sometimes it's your friend. You bouncing, hey, babe, what you think about this idea? And learning to be in that space and say, I don't think that's a good idea, and, you know, or letting them bump their head for a second. Like, I know for a fact, because I know she's smarter than you. I know you bounced this, Nikki.
Oh,
Shit. Nobody questioned that but you, Josh. That's why,
I know you
that's why
bounced-
we know that.
Right. I know you bounced this whole idea off of her.
the podcast?
Yes.
In a way, yeah.
In a
yeah.
way, yes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll let you get your
Yeah.
moment. But you were throwing out ideas. And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure y'all had a moment where y'all discussed it and she threw in her 2 cents and you
Yeah, for sure.
Now,
Yeah.
but you gotta think, that was in a mature space.
Mm-hmm.
Young people, well, I think that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Why you gonna have a podcast? I don't want these people in my house. I'm not saying but that could be a not buying into somebody's passion or what that's love. even though like you don't agree with it, you don't whatever.
All right, it's your dream.
Right, it's your
your
dream,
vision.
and she supported it. Like plants, you don't look like a succulent type of guy.
You'd be surprised. I'm learning a
He
lot.
named Chief pretty young.
Plants, y'all, plants. But you support the plants.
Yeah.
You know, like when she's at work, I'm pretty sure she's got, hey, I need you to water this. I need you to do that. I need you to do this. Whatever.
Turn off my grow lights.
Right.
Okay.
So that's just my little quick.
I get it.
You know,
I get.
They don't understand.
I understand. I agree with you. For the most part, I feel the same way. I just think that it's not an indefinite. You know what I mean? Only because my experiences have taught me otherwise. I think that as a rule of thumb, it's a wise way to go about the development of your growth. You know, but I used to do that at boot camp. I used to tell them, you know, you'd had downtime, man. They'd want advice and they'd want C stories and things like that. And she'd be like, don't go to A school, marrying this, you know, this person or that person, thinking you're in love, you know, because remember, A school was 15, 20 years for most of us, right? Mm-hmm. But we all remember people getting married in A school.
Hell yeah.
You know, and I'm actually surprised to say that there's a lot of relationships that did last.
Oh,
you
no,
know,
it is.
and did work. So that's why I say I agree with your mentality 100%. I know that there are exceptions to the rule, but as a rule of thumb, I think it's sound advice. I'm not going to dispute that at all.
And then on top of that, man, another topic I want to talk about is the fact that when I say you guys don't know each other, right? See, the military allows you to create whoever you want to be. You can buy,
Yes, sir.
you can buy the high end stuff. You can buy if you want to be the trucker and you want to, you want to have your truck raised up and you with the mud tires and the splat, like you.
Let's go.
You can be whoever you want to be.
You be like on the Charger with the 23s,
Bro, you know what I feel like?
Shit.
with the 2 interest rates.
I feel like it's the easiest to lose yourself.
Yes, that's what I meant.
well,
Not like be who you want to be because like there's so much. I mean,
Same.
here
right?
we go.
Being who you
I feel the whiskey, but I'll tell you right now, one of the things that repulses me about the military is the level of fakeness
Hell yeah.
that I'm surrounded by.
We've talked about that.
Man,
I
it's
think
so
every time we've
phony.
been in the room together.
well, let me
It's actually
let me say
it's
something.
nauseating for me.
let me ask
to
you guys
hear
this.
how fake people can be.
Let me
You know
ask
what
you
I'm
this
saying?
before I go check on the kids
So I'll
again,
leave
right?
it at
And you
that.
guys could spin this around, right? You said like you could lose yourself, right? I look at it as like you cannot find yourself because many come in at 18, 19, like let's just say under 22, right? Even our ensigns finishing up college, 22 and under, right? You haven't even discovered who you are.
Right. That's why it's so
So
the same.
you are being turned into something, a sailor, a marine, a soldier, whatever, and you haven't even been able to find your identity before your identity is given to you,
Right.
right? And now, like depending on where you're from and your upbringing and background and stuff, maybe that's good enough and you're happy with it. And now you got your couple hooyah.
Yeah.
17 years later or
That's
whatever.
what happens, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, and keeping it on topic with like advice, giving advice to these people, to these sailors, to these people, right? Like, what is the advice you're giving them then?
So the
Y'all go ahead and spin that
the
around.
comment I was making about people being fake, it's not necessarily even people feeling like who y'all go Navy. Like if that's really how you feel, like I got friends, man. Me and my wife, we're couples friends. Like his wife is cool with my wife, and my wife is cool. I'm cool with him. You know what I mean? And dope dude, man. But god damn, I had to I stopped following this dude on Facebook, man, because like everything about this dude is Navy chief.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when I met him, I was a chief. He was a first class, and he worked for me. You know what I'm saying? But he was a motivated fucking first class, man. Every year I rewrote his evals and did all type of stuff. Like, hey man, let's get you khakis. And finally he made khakis. And man, this dude
He's all in.
Man, I mean, it's too much for me, dog.
Yeah.
Like, me and my wife, like, because we're all friends, and we were just like, yo, this is killing me. Like, I gotta unfollow. I'm still his friend on Facebook. I gotta unfollow this dude. I can't keep looking at this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know what? He's not fake.
Right, that's you letting him be him.
He fucking loves that shit, and I believe him for who he is. There's nothing wrong with being Joe Navy if you're Joe Navy. Like what Josh said is 100% true. Like some people is okay with conforming to what this organization tells you this is who you're gonna be, and they find security in that. Like, fuck, I found the thing for me. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame anybody for that. The part about fake I was talking about was the I met you in the command. In 3 months I've known you. You know, I've talked shit about you to other people, but now suddenly on Facebook, you're my fucking best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm buying you a birthday cake. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm letting the world know that I'm a good friend to you, you know, when I don't even know you.
Yeah, but...
You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that is the kind of stuff where...
happens at every command.
You know, and it's just a lot of fakeness. I hate to sound petty about it, but that's not... there's a lot... That's just one example of a lot of things that I see that for me is like, when I reach out and say this person is a friend, like, I'm dead ass. Like, this person is a friend. You're not going to catch me talking about this person behind their back. That's my friend. It's us. My bullshit is your bullshit. And your bullshit is my bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to catch me talking shit about you behind your back. You know what I'm saying? Because when I say we're friends, we're fucking friends. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But not everybody thinks like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I see that in the military. That's why we talked about this with the mess, how when you go through initiation is the dumbest fucking thing, in my opinion, man. Like, I said this to Josh the first time I did a podcast. I think final night, and, you know, obviously I'm not going into details, but when the CO and the XO and certain department heads or whoever's down there and they're watching us at the end, I think in my mind, I'm looking at them, look at us, and I'm thinking they think we're a bunch of fucking idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like, it looks so fucking stupid asking certain questions, you know what I'm saying? Yelling certain things to individuals, hoping that they give us an answer that just makes us feel good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, it's stupid. It's fucking stupid, in my opinion. So
I don't
that's
think,
my piece.
I don't think any of the leadership feels that way because they most of them were probably in a fraternity, right? So they probably had to do even dumber shit for no purpose that served no purpose, right?
Less purpose,
but just to get accepted.
Okay,
a lot of the shit that we do, right? I agree. Like, it's all about just mental stress, right? Stress the person out.
You know, the Chiefs Mess is not a fraternity.
Right. So you're going to need to expand on that.
Because we don't dictate who becomes members. We have no control over
a fraternity. You have to put in a petition that is signed. Like, being part of a fraternity, there's an application process. People have to sign off on it. And the application has to go through.
We are not a fraternity.
Okay. We are not we're not a pump, and we're not a filter.
So let me remove that word from my part of the discussion, because I don't want to get caught up in semantics or whatever.
I mean, I'm pretty much just repeating the same stuff that I said before, that I felt like, you know, I'm sure it's not a popular opinion. It's just my opinion.
And I get it, and I think that there's so many people, and I've said this on the podcast before. I think there's so many people that come into the fraternity or the brotherhood of the mess, right? That don't give a shit about it, right? They don't necessarily want to be a part of the mess. They did that initiation phase out of fear, right? For thinking that they weren't going to actually get to put the anchor on, or they weren't going to, you know what I mean? Get to that next step and have that connection within the mess. I know, and I know that you guys could all agree, you've been in the mess long enough, that there has to have been times where you reached out to somebody not expecting anything in return, but got everything you asked for. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right. That's what I want to say about that. I feel like there's a
From the mess.
yeah, from the mess, from
say,
somebody
say that
within
one more
the mess.
time.
So, has there ever been a time that you've reached out to somebody in the mess that you were like, I don't know, this dude doesn't know me, or this person has no reason to like hook me up this way or whatever, and then they come through with everything you asked for,
Yes.
and for no other reason than you wear that anchor, right? Because they probably would have done it if you were a first class or a second class too, because that's the type of person that they are, right? But for you reaching across state lines or across, you know what I mean, from ship to ship or whatever it is, and the fact that you have that anchor on your collar or on your chest bone or whatever.
So I think that
Chest
100%.
What do you call it? Sternum?
The Chiefs mess is good for professional courtesy, and I think
No, it's not.
you don't think so. You don't think the Chiefs mess is good for professional courtesy?
Maybe I'm missing your point. I'm sorry. Let me let you finish. 'Cause
Drink
What
some
I'm saying though, man, I personally feel like if you're saying it's the strength of the brotherhood, then I would have to disagree. You see what I'm saying? Not when I know personally brothers who smash each other's wives. Not to get too graphic.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you
Like,
got a good
come
point.
on, man. Like, for you, like, the argument that, like, come on, man. Like, you know if you ask a brother for something, they're going to be there.
No.
If that's like what you
Hey,
trying to
brother,
do,
could-
I mean?
Why you
Hey,
going
brother,
Hulk Hogan?
Yo,
could you look at?
like-
I'm going on deployment. Could you
know
could you
what I
look
mean?
after the house for
Yeah,
me?
you know
That's
what I
not
mean?
at all
Like,
what I was
Who do
trying to
you
say.
know?
Yeah, well,
Fuck.
I feel
every
like
family has riffraff, man. Every family
I get
has
it, but
not
like, you know
fucking each
what?
other.
I tell you this much, man. I
depends
don't want
on
to
where
sound
you're
like
from.
it sounds
One at a time. One at a
cynical.
time. One at a time.
I'm sorry. It might sound cynical.
Sorry.
It's not my intent to sound cynical.
The dark side of khaki.
It's just okay. So my argument was about fake things I've seen in the military.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily about against all khakis or
Of
whatever.
course.
But I'll say this, and you know, I'm a tread very carefully when I bring this topic up.
Please do, okay?
But U.S. Navy Chiefs
I'm just playing.
Facebook groups, Navy Chief Forever, things like that. I mean, these same individuals that are quote unquote brothers are getting screenshot and sent to captain's mess for the personal comments that they're making about, you know, racist comments, you know, derogatory comments towards, you know, I mean, you know, again, man, I don't want to go down that path. All I'm
Yeah.
saying is this idea about this brotherhood, like that to me isn't something necessarily I buy into. Some people do. I explained my friend who I love this dude, man. I fucking love this guy. You know what I mean? He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
Our kids play, all that good stuff. But he's just too Navy for me. He means it. He's not being fake. That's him.
Yeah.
I accept that from him. There's a lot of other people that's just like, no, that's fake.
I get what you're saying, man. Especially about the
Facebook groups?
the Facebook, but the like, for example, as just in general, how many times we ever been somewhere out as like with our peers, and a female walk in, and then they revert back to. I mean, you know, a leopard can't change his spot.
Every time I'm with you.
That's a joke. He's
Just
joking.
to be honest, man.
Nick single. Nick is
I'm
single.
joking.
Y'all really putting out some fucking shit tonight, man. Putting out my address.
like-
Putting out Nick's spots.
And like, they gotta go talk to her, flirt with her, jump in her face. Like, what? Thought that's your sister. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you talking about like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Like every time. Or
You
like,
understand my comment now?
No, like I mean that makes less sense.
Yeah, it makes less sense.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yo,
it
whatever, dog. I
I-
wish the camera could see your face right now.
It makes less sense. And the
He's just
reason
like-
You're lonely.
and the reason why it makes less sense is because that wasn't my sister.
Who you talking about?
yo,
I don't even know. I said every
let's get back
time.
on
I'm not
topic.
even
I don't know what y'all talking
Yeah,
about.
I don't even know where
Look.
you're going with that either.
Look, I don't know what I missed, but what I asked, right? About sailors not knowing themselves when they come in here, right? And then trying to discover themselves and find themselves.
100% facts.
And then when I picked where I picked it up, y'all was talking about Chiefs mess shit, right? And I don't know what I missed in between, but like, let's get back going back to the advice thing, right? Like, maybe I already covered that, but like, what advice are we giving those people, right? Like on just the road of like life, right? Because some of the best advice, my mentor Danny Borum, like that's my brother, man. Like I haven't even had him on the show yet because like he's not ready to open up the demons or the stories and the things that he like where our conversation. He's a brother that I can call and we'll have a 3-hour phone conversation. You know what I mean? Like through the evening, like it'll be me and him talking on the phone while I'm doing the dishes, I'm taking care of the kids, giving them a bath, and we just conversate about everything and anything, and there's no shots pulled, right? I can ask him any question I want about anything, and he doesn't feel any type of way. He could ask me. And we're talking about the whole gamut of everything, anything that's happening in society, anything that's happening in the Navy, right? And you know, he's given me a lot of life advice as my mentor in the Navy that just has helped me be a better person throughout this, right? So, you know, do we be fucking up and we don't think about that enough, right? Of giving like this person like advice on life and how to go about life better. So if you're going about life better, you'll just inherently be a better sailor because life is better. You know what I mean? Like,
So I think that circles back to the episode you did with Nikki just a couple. What was it?
Hey,
last
boo.
week? Yeah, well, you guys were talking about you're not a professional, you're not a counselor. I think it's scary giving advice as a chief to a junior sailor or somebody that's young and 19, 20, 21, 22, like in those age groups, because going back to what Nick said earlier, like, you change every 3 years, right? So that doesn't mean that you change completely and that your identity. I don't think that's what you meant, and I think that's what he was trying to get at. Like, what's the difference between getting married at 19 and 28? You've changed 3 times since then. I think the change is so much more subtle every time you change, right? So at 19, you're a different person than you were at 16. Now you're getting ready to make big boy decisions or big girl decisions. Now we go to 22. You've made that decision. Now, what are you doing with it, right? So
Experience.
yeah, so we've gone from there to here, and then by the time you get to 28, you've gone through several iterations of change, right? But those iterations become smaller and smaller.
I've gone through dramatic changes in my 30s alone.
Right.
And the reason I gotta disagree with you is
That's
because
not possible.
the reason I say I disagree with you is I'm 38 now, and the things that I wanted in my life 3 years ago, 4 years ago, one of the number one arguments I used to have with my wife that I'm perfectly fine with sharing is her career goals. I used to think I wanted to be a power couple. I knew I was accomplishing things. I finished my bachelor's degree. I was making, good money in the military. I had plans for the outside world. I knew that I was going places. And I constantly had an argument with her about who I want her to be. Today, my idea about that has completely changed. I don't care about no power couple. I don't even want you working. I want to make so much money you don't have to work. You can stay home, because every day my kids come home from school, I want you there in the kitchen, making them a snack, watch them do their homework. I want you teaching and disciplining our kids so they grow up to be successful
What we want
and
them to be.
accomplished. That's what we want, but I'm just saying, as far as
No,
the
you're
conversation.
saying we as in
You-
you and your wife.
Yeah, you and your wife, you want those kids to come up the way
Of
that
course
you
she
want them to
wants
come
it.
up.
I'm just telling her where my stance is on how I see,
Yeah.
as the leader of the house, how I see the household being ran.
Yes.
The end goal of success, that's without question. Obviously, that's what she wants for our kids. But what I'm saying is, 3 to 4 years ago, I had a completely different mindset. 3 to 4 years ago. And this is what I've had this conversation many, many times with sailors. When I was 18 or 19 years old, I could care less if you could cook or clean. I could care less. I just wanted you to be attractive. If you look good and I look good, let's go out together. You know what I mean?
How many years ago?
20.
Okay.
Fast forward, 24, 25, you start dating and dating and dating. But you know what? I don't want to pay to go out every night, this and that. You gotta know how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward 27, 28. Hey, it's good that you know how to cook, right? Thank you for that. But what's your 401k look like? Like, how's your credit score? You know what I'm saying? So throughout the years, the things that I wanted continually changed. So the only reason I brought up that thing about what's the difference between 19 to 23 as opposed to 25 to 28 is that same advice. Right now, as a 38-year-old man who's been married for about 12 years or something, right? I still feel like I shouldn't have got married until I was 35. That's the reason I brought that up. I'm sorry, that's honestly how I feel.
So it's the right track. We speaking the same language.
That's why it wasn't like I was disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I wanted you to point out the difference. Like, okay, what's the difference between 19 and 22 or 23 as opposed to 25 and 28? At the end of the day, like who I am today, the person that, if I was single, the woman that I would want to marry doesn't fit the mold of the woman I was married to 3 to 5 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So with that being said, when people get together, they grow together. And like you said, they have to relearn each other. And there's compromise. There's, you know what I'm saying? It's a constant growth that evolves over time. I think overall, a rule of thumb, 19 is way too young. And I said this earlier. But on the same token, I have seen it work. That these individuals have grown together. What they wanted has changed, but they've worked with each other to get there.
And that's
what I was saying.
It's not the rule for everybody, right? But from like, you might meet some 19-year-old sailor that comes into the office and he's like, "Hey, Chief, I want to get married," and you're like, "Hey, dude, you seem to me in the last year that I've known you, you got a plan, you got discipline. Like, this is where you're going. If this is what you think is right, do it."
Y'all want to know a hard truth that I feel that I've experienced in my time in the Navy? You can give advice all you want. It's kind of one of those things you could teach them as a child and they're going to depart from it. But eventually, what you said will resonate. And you know what I mean? You're going to show.
That's my
I can't
life
tell
right
you
now with my son.
I can't tell you how many times I've had conversations with females, young females. I was always comfortable. I never hesitated to do it. But I would talk to them about the way that they interact with the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time they've been away from home. They're in a city where nobody knows them. A school alone, I'm here for 2 months. Half these people I'm not even going to see again. You know what I'm saying? In their mind is what they're thinking. This is the first time mom and dad is not controlling you, telling you have to be home at a certain time, telling you can't do this, telling you can't do that. And like Nick, you said, it's the first time so many men are telling them they're beautiful every day.
Every day.
And I would have these conversations with them and say, look, y'all, believe me when I say. And I'm not talking about as an RDC. I'm talking about in the fleet.
Yeah.
I was a first class doing NDOC, and females would always, I would have conversations with females later. They'd pick me as their some females would pick me as their mentor or something like that. Whatever the case, if I had a relationship, an opportunity to talk to these females, I would say these things to them. And they would still always end up pregnant. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm not saying that, it's not a good thing that we're giving that advice, by any means. All I'm saying is just like, we can give them that advice about not getting married at 19 and so on and so forth. Yeah. But they're going to make those decisions and, on their own anyway.
So it's the sailor that I work with. She on the right track. Like, you could just kind of tell. She just made second. She just turned 21 like a few months ago. She went and got married. She pretty mature for her age though, like the way she carry herself. You wouldn't think she was 21. You would think she was like 26, 27. Excuse me. But we had a conversation, and I was just, the first thing I asked her was, I was like, "Yo, do you know what love is? Like, does your spouse know what love is? Are y'all on the same page as far as what love is? Do you have reasonable expectations? Does he have reasonable expectations? Right now where you work, you're probably not in that environment, but when you transfer from here, There's dudes. I said, and she's an attractive. She's attractive. I was like, you're an attractive female. When you damn work, when you walk out this office, it's people, hey, every day. And she was like, yeah, I know, Chief. I said, they don't mean it. Yes, they think you're, but it's nothing behind it. It's no substance behind it. That person doesn't love you. That person just wants you. I was, just schooling her on how to conduct herself. Like, okay, say you go to your next command and you're the only female. I said, in your division. You don't got to be in a group chat. Work, professional, you could be accessible professionally, but there's certain things you don't need to be a part of. And I said the reason why is the fact that you're so cool and you're mature, people see that as a way in.
Mm-hmm.
A shark would smell like, oh, okay, I could play off that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, boom, I'm going to hit her with it. And she gonna be like, well, I thought we was cool. Nah, y'all ain't cool. Yeah, you cool, but that's not his agenda. You get what I'm saying? I mean, we all been there before as young men. Young men.
Man, I
Hold on, real quick, because we got someone in the chat right here, right? Nikki is in the chat. She's joining us, right? So a couple things she dropped in there, right? She was asking the Chiefs mess. Don't get Nikki started on the Chiefs mess, okay? She asking, is it truly a brotherhood or sisterhood, right? I think you guys, whenever you guys were covering that, right? And then some of the advice she heard, she said, best words I heard from the ward room is the Navy will keep functioning without you. Your family won't, which I think we all going to testify to that, right? Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah, right. The ship's still going to get underway. It's going to keep pressing on. Like, whatever the hell is going to happen is going to happen.
That's what that Master Chief was telling the first year.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
over that.
Senior Chief.
I got over that as a first class.
Right?
I don't even know if I can't hear myself, but
I got you.
I
you
can
can
hear
You there? Yeah, you there.
I got over that as a first class.
Yeah?
I missed board my first time up for chief because I was trying to prepare my command for an inspection, and I had moved the command from Lemoore to Japan, like a home port change, and within 6 months we had an inspection. So we transferred all of our, imagine swapping ships, right? Because I'm Airedale, you guys are ships company, right?
Surface.
So, yeah, ships company. So, imagine swapping ships, and the ship that you took over is going through an inspection, like in service 6 months.
Yeah, I'm about to do that in like 2 months.
Yeah, so I had an entire, and as an LPO of a major shop within the command, you know what I mean? It was just a lot of stress. So anyway, my first time out for chief, I missed board, and I can't say purposely, but I knew I did not study. I was so focused on the inspection.
Yeah, you didn't put work into the
At
exam.
all.
You put work.
And
into
you know
the
what?
exam.
We murked that inspection. Oh, we killed it, right?
Hold on, though.
But I took my exam the next day, and I didn't make board. You know what I mean? And
You deposited into the wrong bank.
exactly. Hold that thought though, because I made chief in that command. I went from P to EP, and that was a big part of it. But on the same token, I realized at that command, they gave me an EP, and then the results for board came out, and I didn't make board, and they gave me shit the whole year, because they skipped me from P to EP,
Oh.
and I didn't make board, so they gave me
fucked them.
shit the whole year. But I messed up by focusing on the command over my own self. So since that moment, as a first class, I learned that. So here I am, been in khakis for more than 10 years, and that entire time, I never put the Navy above
You know what's crazy?
my family ever since. Ever since.
Ever since I got married, which was
19.
17. Well, when I was, from the time I was married to the time I got divorced, even now, I never, ever put the Navy above
I was glad I
family.
learned that.
And that's awesome, man. That's not something that very many people can say. And definitely me, right? I did for the first few years, and then I don't know what gear switched in my head, but I went Navy, right? And I had the mentality of make rate, pay the family, like, you know what I mean?
No, I get you, and that's because your mindset. I'm doing this for my family.
Right. Yes, but at the detriment of my family.
But right.
Right.
So for me, it was more so like, man, fuck this. I don't give a fuck. I got in so many arguments with as a seaman, with my second classes, as a second class, with my first class, with my chiefs, with my senior chiefs, like
everybody.
Because
nobody understood, like, how does this dude figure it out already?
I didn't buy in. I used to ask this shit, man. I used to ask this. I used to be like, why the fuck are we here?
Well, I think that's.
No,
I'm tracking.
I'm talking about. Let me explain that.
You sound like every Seaman Smuckatelli.
Yeah, I was just gonna say every sailor that ever
Yes.
came in the Navy.
And you know what?
Chief, the work list is done.
And you know what? They're right. When you think
No, I
about
mean, yeah,
they're
I ain't
right.
seen. Yeah.
Case
I'm
by
gonna
case.
tell you
Case
why
by
they're right.
case.
I'm gonna tell you why they're right. You had quarters. You put out whatever needed to be done. It's 1,600. Now we just sitting here looking at each other, coming up with. There's only so much you can accomplish. And guess what? Guess what the cool thing about the Navy is? That shit
be
gonna be there
cool.
tomorrow. To be continued. You're going to do the same. It's Groundhog Day every day. Underway, I get it. Cool. Where you going?
Oh yeah, you there? It's a 2,200.
Yeah, where you going?
Nah, I mean,
Put
it depends,
Put,
man.
hey, put a movie on.
Yeah.
Put a movie
After dinner.
on. Put the movie
Yep.
on. Fuck that.
Josh, you never. I know you were really surprised when he said he was there at 20. You never stayed at work 2,100, just working.
If I had
So couple things.
Shit.
Back to the chat. Nikki dropped something. Back to the marriage thing. She said life experiences always makes a difference in life decisions, and she's glad that her and I waited until we were 25, 26 to get married because of how much more well established we were. It built a stronger foundation, right?
what
So
was that plug again? Life what?
l-
'Cause I'ma steal it.
life experiences always makes a difference in life decisions.
Can you share that when I make that my Facebook post?
Yeah.
Thank you.
But just tag Nikki. But I mean, yeah, absolutely. You know, so covering down on what she said first, right? Like, absolutely, right? You're more experienced. Like, the thing every 3 years you're changing and learning, like that. That's absolutely true. 3 years, 2 years, whatever
I got
it is.
something more for you, man.
And then, but hold on. Cover down that, and then, yes, I've been there till stupid ass hours,
Okay.
out of my control,
Yeah.
right? Like stupid ass hours, as like we pulled back into port one time at like 2,200, and then leave the ship till midnight. Because the fucking marine berthings weren't fucking clean enough.
Cry me a river. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That's
Right?
You had to stay there 2 hours after you moored?
Till midnight, motherfucker?
Ah, that's horrible. That's a military type shit right there.
Yeah, someone help me with this guy. I don't know. He trolling me right now?
He's trolling.
Okay, because I'm about to slap shit out of him.
Imagine you had to go through
But
that.
like, I mean, like, in some no shit, like XO seal down, like clean these berthings better.
I'm from Carriers. It takes 2 hours to get off that motherfucker.
What?
Man. Like, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's not the 2 hours after there. I'm talking about, it's like we moored up and everything was set, and it was like, oh yeah, actually muster everyone down in marine berthings now, so you guys can clean marine berthings.
After they call Liberty Call.
Yeah.
No, there was no Liberty Call.
Mm.
And then you still see, like, of course, there's like engineering
So
department.
there was no Liberty Call.
No,
That's normal for us. I've seen that
Bro.
100 times.
are we are you tracking me right now?
The reason why they don't understand is because they never been on a small boy.
Exactly.
They never been on that.
Always Carrier.
I'm talking about like,
Carriers
hold on.
pulling,
I'm talking about.
moored,
Did
shift
they not hear the time I said?
Right.
Yeah.
2,200.
Yes. Moored, shift colors.
A carrier doesn't pull in at 2,200.
A carrier does pull in if they did sea trials.
Whoa.
Sir.
Shit. It's about to get violent. We're letting them.
So, anyways, I'm losing lights and shit. All right, but y'all get the point, right? So, have I stayed late? Yes, right. I've never. I'd like to say Nikki could jump in the chat and tell me I'm a fucking liar. I've never stayed on purpose just because, like, you know what I mean? Like, not till that time. Not till that time, right? In port.
Shit.
Right? Like, I've stayed late, like, after dinner. I've stayed late, like, hey, we got the inspections coming up, and after dinner, y'all motherfuckers are going to work 2 hours because you guys wanted to bullshit. So now we're going to do now we're all going to sweat in that storeroom together, right? And then, like, 18, 19, all right, now it's Liberty Call because I said so. shit like that, but not just like, oh, I need to be here to get this done till 2100. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not knocking you, Chad. You know that,
No, I
but it's
wanna-
just like that's, and then like Nikki being like, shut up, babe, you're lying, and I could be like, all right, I'm sorry, like, and I'm sorry, and that's the thing, I am fucking sorry if I ever did, right? I'm sorry for all of those times, even the ones that were out of my control,
Yeah. And
right?
Let me
The-
ask
the
this though,
point-
man.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chad.
I was just going to say the point that I was trying to make with my comment with that was not to say that I outworked anybody in this room.
Right. No,
You were
we know
ashamed.
that.
You were like, man, I should have
Right.
done that.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was a balanced miscalculation that I had so fucked up on one side that I let everything else suffer.
Right.
And not realizing that, hey man, like you're fucking up everything else for this. Like, why don't you figure out how to?
So
ahead.
to me, like you said, that goes with what you said about balance, right? Which was what started this whole conversation because he said that was the best advice he got from Master Chief. You need to find balance. Okay, so maybe I just come from very humble beginnings, but in all honesty, the Navy has given me a great fucking life. You know what
Sure.
I'm saying? Financially, you know, compare it. And I see the outside world, man. I had to actually learn the hard way not to talk finances. And I was talking about investments and stocks and things like that with other individuals. And there was people in the room that like they were barely making it, and it actually pissed them off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned this dealing with civilians. And I'm not talking government contract civilians. I'm talking about motherfuckers who, like, they got one bedroom apartment and they're trying to make it. And they last job they had was at fucking Best Buy. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Navy has given us, man, we make really good fucking money, man, if you really break it down. So there are times where I have worked those hours. Keyword here, balance. You know what I mean? So only reason I say that is I don't think you need to be so apologetic if there were times
Right.
that you worked hard to move ahead in your career, considering the type of profession you have.
So-
like you have the type of profession just as a chief in the U.S. Navy where I've seen it firsthand. Your work ethic in the civilian world, they warn us about it, right? They say when you retire, civilians are going to be like, oh, he needs to calm down, blah, blah, blah. There's people around me who don't understand me. They're like, why do you work so hard? And I just be like, dog, this shit is nothing for me. Like, it's nothing.
It's not even work.
But
It's not, you know what I'm saying?
let me ask
Wait,
this.
plug. Staying late doesn't mean working hard.
I
So
agree.
let's,
Yes.
let's
I agree as
let's
well.
clear that up.
But that's what you said about the Seaman Smuckatelli, who says, why are we here? And they're right. If you're not doing anything and you're there, he's right. But he's not always right. You know why? Because you said, because they're right. They're not always. Because sometimes, like I did during the inspection when I was there 9 o'clock at night, trying to make sure we were going to pass a fucking inspection. You know what I'm saying? We were there for a reason. And that happens as well.
Hey, watch this. Be careful with that. In my experiences, leaving at 1800 and leaving at 1900, or 1800 and leaving at 2000 is not the reason why you failed or passed that inspection.
Yeah.
And
I would
this is-
blame management.
This is coming from a rate where we are inspected every 18 months.
I would blame leadership.
Right, but what I'm saying is, me and him are inspected every 18 months, like somebody going to jail, somebody getting fired type of inspection, because we deal with money,
Right.
because we're the most important people in the military.
Oh yeah.
But that's
So-
neither here nor there.
Co-sign that.
Aviation deals with lives, but keep
There
going.
was feedback in the
Keep going.
microphone.
Right.
I didn't
Money
hear.
over lives, but keep going.
Right, and,
Money over everything. Cream.
right. No one's going anywhere till the crane gets here. But anyway, right? Okay.
No, he's right.
So-
He's right.
Nothing you did is going to help you pass by staying there till the sun goes down. Now, what your job is as a leader, right, is to prepare. I hate using Seaman Smuckatelli. I just hate it.
Call him Bob.
No, I'm
Yeah.
gonna call him Seaman Carter. Seaman Carter, Seaman
good.
Thompson, is to get them to understand what you're about to go through 6 months down the line,
Mhm.
and understand why why you're doing this now is so we don't have to worry about that later.
Right.
That's your
Yes.
job as a leader. Your job is to get them to buy in to what you're doing, to buy into what you
The
sell.
daily routine.
The daily routine. That's your job.
So are you saying
not
that
when,
can't-
hold on. Not when, in-serve, gotta stay late, cause stay late. Nah, motherfucker. First of all, in-serve started when the message came out that said we were gonna go through in-serve.
No,
Mhm.
insert started when last insert ended.
So
True that too.
true
Yeah,
that
every-
too.
everything's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
However,
Everything's
when
true.
that message came out 18 months prior, and then as for our job, getting with 3MC, making sure that these jobs are on order, there's a job in for this, and making sure you telling your third class, hey, this is the task list, make sure this is this, and this is why.
Yeah.
That's your job as a leader.
I think
Being there
we're
at
saying the same
1900,
thing.
2000.
No.
Yeah, y'all are.
I
Just
think
to-
we're
Is it-
saying the same
Right.
thing. But what you're saying when you say leaving at 15, 16, I know you said 1800 and 1900 is not a big difference. What I'm hearing when you say that is putting in the extra hours. That's what I'm hearing. Is that what you're saying?
What you
It's
saying,
not
put
going to
in
make
extra?
because
No,
you're
I'm saying being there for the sake of fucking being there.
So that's why I said that being there for the sake of just being there is bad leadership.
Yeah.
But if you're being there because you're actually accomplishing goals,
how many times?
But he wasn't arguing against you.
I'm not arguing.
I don't.
against
I don't
you.
feel that.
Okay.
I don't feel that.
Well,
I'm just clarifying that like there are times
that you
where
have to be there.
you're gonna have to put in. You're gonna have to
Yes.
burn. You are 100% white. Right by I said white.
Hey, yo.
You're
Welcome to
If it ain't right, went to the club.
so you're 100% right.
I ain't dapping that
Well,
motherfucker. Yeah, I'm
He
American.
said you're not white.
Chad, I'm here with
No,
you.
but look, you're right when you say that they have
Brother.
to buy in on it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people don't like the buy-in stuff, but I'm all about it. You know, because I like the why. Let me explain to you why. You know what I mean? Let me make this make sense to you.
Yeah.
Because I'm the person who wants to ask why as well.
Right.
So-
and your plug about
So it's easy for you to explain that.
Hey,
Right.
this
And
is why we're doing it.
For some dudes,
You know what I'm saying?
and that's when you do your job
Yeah.
as a chief,
go ahead, brother.
as a leader.
The only reason I
tell
even
him.
mention this because I just
Right
felt
on.
like there, you know, I don't want to get into me personally, advice to anyone that is listening to this. There's gonna be days if you want to be. Did you know I used to tell my first classes, if you're not running around with a chicken with your head cut off, if you're not fucking all over the place, fucking working your ass off, you're probably doing it wrong. Let me explain why. This is my flaw with the Navy. The Navy is the only branch that uses the term collateral duties. And I'm not talking about just command collaterals. I'm saying if you are really a first class, when we talk production, I know you guys don't do production, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
as
yeah.
far as like completing things, right?
Yep.
So LSs don't know. As far as production
Are
goes,
you like production control?
That's not.
Yes.
That's not
Yeah.
an insult.
Are you talking about like aviation stuff? Like
yes.
yeah.
yes. Or
Yeah,
maintenance, even ship.
Yeah, I've been at
Okay,
ASD.
So anyway,
I've been
moving
at ASD, don't
moving
play me.
forward, right? When you say if you are responsible for all production, but guess what? Not only are you responsible for all production that's going on, making sure that aircraft fly, ships run, so on and so forth, because guess what? CO's accountable for this. He got to talk to the admiral on why we can't pull out. He got to talk to the admiral on why we can't fly, right? Okay, so I understand you guys think your job is the only one that's important. I get that. But there's other jobs.
No, they
So-
don't think it's
no,
the
because
only
I saw
one.
that
They
look he
think
just
it's the
gave.
most
Exactly.
important.
So, but with that being said, the point I'm trying to make is that when individuals are, all of them are like, there's always gonna be times. I just lost my train of fucking thought, but there's always gonna be times where one individual who's working extra to get the job accomplished, that's not necessarily somebody saying, hey, we're just going to burn the midnight oil to burn the midnight oil. A lot of times it's like, hey, if work needs to be done and people are counting on and relying on you, then that's what you just have to do. It's not just a, hey, I'm keeping you here just to keep you here.
Couple things real quick. Nikki in the chat. Your work will be there in the morning, right? The military is a great stepping stone. Back to what you were saying, Chad, right? The military is a great CJ, stepping stone for anyone and everyone. But service members know that they know that and don't invest in the fact that their current job is bigger than they know. Like I think she's talking about like service, right? Like so many sailors nowadays, especially coming in Gen Zers and late millennials. oh, this is a 9 to 5, right? I'm here for college. No, you're kind of here to do war, right, and stuff like that. And we don't have to go down all that. But and then she says also, so they look at the military as a temporary and not important, which is also detrimental to the mission, right? Something I wanted to bring up as we were talking about like time and this and that, right? When we said, CJ, you asked me like if I had ever stayed late like that, right? And we're talking about staying late.
Said no.
No,
It was funny.
but how about this? As we're talking about like the hours we spend at work, what about the hours that we spend at home doing work? The phone calls that interrupt dinner, the phone calls that are late at night, right? So we could be like, and this is something me and Nikki were kind of covering in our last episode together, right? The dependent one, but like that's time too, right? That we're trying to balance, but like so we cut out early or get home finally, and then we still got phone calls coming out of our ass about this or that, and then it's taking away our balance, right?
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Do you think that the commander or captain in the 06 has to be briefed on what he can or cannot call the admiral about at dinner time?
I'm not sure I understand. Like, what do you mean?
Do you think that, like, as a captain, there's things that if he's going to call the admiral, it's going to be because he needs to call the admiral. This is something the admiral needs to know. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay.
So the reason I say that is something that occurs 100%. I'm not saying it doesn't, but that's another thing that I learned early on as a chief. I learned early on as a chief, I always wanted to be the guy to put the fire out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me jump on that then. Hey, if there's something going on, make sure you call me. I want to know everything. I need to know everything. You know what I'm saying? I learned very early on that in itself is not good leadership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So honestly, man, I never put out a blanket statement. Don't call me for this or that or the other. It's the way that you cultivate the environment, your division that you run. They understand. Chief needs to know this. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
And then there's other things where it's like, Chief don't need to know that. You know what I'm saying? I can tell him, like what the Nikki say, he'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I get it, but I think that that's something that all chiefs need to realize, that mentality where, hey, I want you to call me, I need to know, and blah, 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 that is a fallacy. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things, that's one of the contributing factors, in my humble opinion, one of the contributing factors on why a lot of chiefs that you see walking around are our age, but they look 10, 15, 20 years older.
No, and so I agree with that. I didn't know where you were going, but I agree with that, right? Part of that is, as you say, cultivating it as we train the junior officers of what needs to be relayed and what doesn't.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Medical personnel, like emergent issues, yeah, that's got to get routed up, right?
Have you seen a shift in the Navy, though?
I can't. Well, yes, maybe because of time spent in, but I know for damn sure I didn't call LPO or anybody when I was in fucking downtown Catania.
Do you see
Sigonella
they're
getting
having the
fucked up
divos.
like
They want the divos to do what the Chiefs used to do.
like what?
Okay, case in point, what was it called, man? Dizzle in the spotlight.
Ditz.
Dits.
That's how we know he ain't been on Small Boy. Hey, Nikki asked you, CJ. CJ, exactly. You foster your sailors to not need you to not. You foster your sailors to not need to call you. Yes. Right. As we're talking about. Yeah. Like, well, no, that's what you're saying is
No.
you build you build it where they don't need to call you about everything. Right.
Everything. Yes.
That they can call you.
They know.
That they can, but they know what to
100%.
call
That's
you
why I said
about.
There's no blanket statement where you're just like,
Don't
don't
call
call me unless it's this, or don't call me. No, I
Right.
would never do that.
Yeah.
It's just that I've, like, the divisions I've had in the past, I've attempted to create an environment where if someone's calling me, it's because, I need to let my chief know this.
Yeah, it's important.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As opposed to what I initially did in the beginning, where, hey, I wanted to know everything.
Right.
Let me know. I want to know. I want to be the first. I need to be the first to know. That way I can put fires out. I think that's one of those areas where it's probably something that you experience over years and years of going through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? When you go through the ranks from the very bottom and you work your way up, you have this constant idea of what you think being a leader is, based off of what you've seen coming up through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? And then once you're actually in the seat, you still kind of have to shift things around to say, like, hey, there's moments where you need to pause and say, I need balance. There has to be a balance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can't just sit here and say, call me for everything because I want to know. You know what I mean? There has to be a balance there.
Well, yeah. So, like, as you go through life, right, in the military or out of the military, right, you learn from the good, you learn from the bad, right? You emulate the things that ended up in good results, and you try to stay away from the things that resulted poorly, right? Go ahead.
Since we talking about like the environment that Nikki said, that you kind of whatever as a chief, I knew what kind of leader, I'm gonna say leader. I knew what kind of leader I wanted to be when I was 19, 20, 21, because I was in a toxic work environment for my first command.
Yeah.
And I just learned, like, oh, okay, I can't wait till I make it because I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then, like, every command I went to, it was a reminder, like, yup.
Not doing that.
I ain't doing it. Don't be that person. Don't be there at 1600 when there's clearly nothing to fucking do and you scared to let people go because of what other departments might think or that bullshit-ass one team, one fight. Nah, they're working late because that's what they got going on. Duty personnel, I'm up out of here. And that's always gonna be my mindset. Like, that's always been, because it's two things. For one, remember what I told you about as a leader, what you gotta do to get people to buy into, you gotta get them to buy in.
Yes,
There's
sir.
two things sailors respect, and that's sleep and liberty. Don't give a fuck about nothing else. Sleep and liberty. So underway, I'm gonna tell you why. Underway is sleep. You can't go nowhere. Ain't no liberty. It's sleep. Sailors, junior sailors, not older ones.
Yeah.
In port, it's liberty. They want to go get their lashes done. They want to go work out. They want to go pick their kids up from day. Like, it's a whole bunch of other things that you need to appease to them. A carrot on a stick. You gotta finesse them.
So I'm taking you too literally because I think what you're saying is right. So when I say I disagree, I don't, because what you're saying is right, but I'm just taking it for the literal surface of what you're saying. That's why I say I disagree. But you are right. So, you know what I mean? I just got to say that
when you say you disagree,
recognition,
what do you mean? Oh, you talking about recognition?
Acknowledgement. Hey, I see what you're doing.
Well, aren't you guys getting into, like, isn't it like Maslow's fucking hierarchy of needs and shit like that, right? Like
the need, there's like 7 hierarchies of needs.
Yeah.
But that's not a disagreement with what he said.
That's why I say
Just
I
adding
can't
to
really
it.
disagree.
Right.
I was taking what
to
you
it.
were saying on the surface when you said there's 2 things.
All right.
So I was like, no.
Oh, I see.
But I get what you're saying.
Watch this.
Because what you're saying is right. But I just know myself personally, man, I've changed people's lives through recognition.
Joel Osteen.
Swear to God, I hate to say that, man. I don't want to sound like, I don't say it arrogantly. I've literally, you know why?
Hey, welcome to the
You know
club,
why?
man.
How I know? Because they're here in San Diego now as a first class.
I don't think he got that.
they ain't made chief yet.
They haven't made chief yet. They hadn't, hopefully they do.
I'm fucking around.
But the problem was they were E5, right? I gave them a NAM as an end of deployment award because I felt they deserved it. And you can tell when someone wants to please you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can tell. The work ethic, the way they want to work for you. They want to do good. You know what I'm saying? Gave this guy a NAM for end of deployment.
Recommended a name.
Result, submitted a NAM. It's up to the
Submitted.
CO, obviously.
Right.
Admiral, actually.
Stop being
But
an
even still.
asshole.
So anyway, I submit the NAM for the guy. The guy got the NAM. Results come out for the advancement exam. He's getting ready to PCS, right? He missed it by 1 point. Oh, but guess what?
The name wasn't in it.
They didn't count that NAM I wrote you.
Fucking
Boom, you're first class now. Now he PCSs to San Diego. Guess where he's from?
Houston.
San Diego.
Oh.
Why did he do that?
So he had E5 orders. He was begging to come home back to San Diego. There was no open billets. But guess what? You're first class now. We got a billet for you on shore duty in San Diego as an E6.
Changed his life.
Changed his fucking life.
Yeah.
Changed his career
what I'm saying?
trajectory.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I said you're not wrong. That's why when you said it, I took it for what you said on the surface. But, you know, sitting here like, no, I know what he's saying. He's 100% right. You know what I mean? But on the same token, when you said two things, I'm like, acknowledgement, man. Acknowledgement honestly drove me. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I didn't even realize it. I guess I'm one of those individuals who might just quite possibly need that pat on the back and say, you're doing a good job.
So I look at that as part of, I look at that as like involuntary movements. I equate recognition with involuntary movements. You got to breathe. You got to blink. You got to itch. Like you got things that's just mandatory.
Right.
Like you have to, even if you don't it's like I said, it's all about finessing. So you got to come in, sometimes you got to tell them, hey man, I see you, man. You're doing a good job.
Do you think they care about it though?
Yes.
Yes.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Cause like my worst recruits at boot camp, I would you're a dirtbag. You can't do nothing wrong, right? You can't do nothing right. I would give you a job like, hey, you know what? It's a compartment hit at boot camp if the lights are on past 1800. So at 1800 every day,
You got to turn off the lights.
I need you to turn those
You're
lights
my
off.
light guy.
You are my light PO. You know what? That fuck up sailor.
I got it,
I'm gonna
Chief.
make sure those motherfucking lights are turned off at 1800 every night. You know what I'm saying?
And he cussing out the RPOC now.
Bruh.
The lights gotta be
The
on.
lights gotta go off. You know what I'm saying? And
We're reading. I don't care.
So,
Chief
you know what I'm
said
saying?
the
I'm
lights
saying,
are off.
Sailors are more complex than we think, man. The sailors are not fucking like.
Well, they're
like
people.
clones. They're
Right.
They're people.
You
What
guys are
Chad,
assholes.
Hey, listen. What
I
I'm
was a
trying,
light PO.
Hey, Chad.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
playing.
What I'm trying to say though is this. What I'm trying to say is, aside from the mandatory things, recognition, telling people you're doing a good job. I'm gonna give you an example. LS1, I got when I first got there, people were like, "Oh yeah, his weight, his uniform, blah 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 blah, whatever." I don't let. This is my shop now,
Yep.
so like I'm not about to. I don't listen to
Right.
because you don't know what he has going on. All you going off of is the eye test, and the military is
Not
lives and
good.
dies on the eye test, paper and the eye test.
They are not 2020.
Right. So I get to know him. Okay, cool. I didn't pay that shit no attention. I seen, you know what I'm saying, he go on a little diet thing. Change up. I'm like, hey man, you been working out, ain't you? Yeah, how you know? I can tell, bro. I'm looking at you. You look good, man. You gotta tell him that. You gotta come in and tell your superstar second class, hey, you got your lashes done, huh? Yeah, I see you. Okay. Yeah, you gotta look the part. Like you gotta hype. Yes,
Right.
that's part of that. But at the end of the day, we can sit here and have awards quarters, or I can get you out of here at 10.
Be careful with that though. That could be dangerous.
It's not, because when you carry yourself a certain way and you learn your people, you know what you can say to this sailor and what you cannot say to this same sailor. And it's the same as I can't yell at her, and I can yell at her, but I can't yell at him.
That's why you
Because
you
he's
got to be
sensitive.
careful who you say that to.
Right. That's a part of learning your
That's what I'm
sailors.
saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So
If
me
you
coming
say
in,
something like that, a lot of girls, man, the one thing they're thinking to themselves is, Chief, notice my eyelashes.
which goes in.
You see what I'm saying? That's
and
why I
watch
say
how I
you,
spin this.
you
Watch how I
have to be careful
right, and
who
watch-
you say that to. You
watch
got
how
to
I-
know who.
Watch how I spin it.
Spin it.
That goes in. That's a part of your. Since we taking it there, you're looking squared away. Obviously, a uniform on
Your
point.
eyelashes make you look squared away?
No, listen,
No, they make them look like tarantulas.
let me finish.
I hate them, bro.
Nah, I'm not talking about the
I
fake
hate
ones. I'm
'em,
talking
bro.
about
I
the.
hate 'em.
Anyway,
Let him finish, man.
what I'm saying is,
You guys are getting caught in the weeds.
Shit's ugly.
she's taking pride in her appearance. Her bun is
Yes.
tight. Her boots is polished. Her uniform fits. I see the eye, like you looking the part. You looking, you know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you the little thing saying, I noticed you. It's the same. How is that? Hold on. How is that different from me saying to that second class that come in there jacked up, hey man, you getting big, bro. I see you. You hitting some games. How is that different?
It's not.
I'm
It's
not
not
saying
at
it's
all.
different.
You know how I do it? You know how I do it?
Let Chad go. Let Chad rock.
Hold on.
What if he was gay
I still would say it.
and you said it to him, but you don't know how he would respond? That's what I'm saying. You just got to be careful. That's all I'm saying.
That's why I don't do it that way.
That's what I'm
the way
saying. You just gotta be
the way
careful.
Josh does it, I come in and be like, damn, you almost had it today, but your boots are fucked up. Damn, you almost had it today, but I'm telling you, get your hands out your pockets again. Damn, you almost had it again today, but
I like that.
this. Damn, close, but still don't look as good as me.
I like that. But Chad, what was you saying?
I think that sets a fake, false,
Hold on, Chad.
bullshit pedestal.
No,
that I hate
I think
about
it's
the
fucking
fucking
dope.
military.
I think it's dope. I think you keep
Fuck that.
encouraging your sailors because
Fuck that.
what does that generation, those younger sailors, they thrive on? What do they thrive on right now?
Filters.
Job satisfaction.
Okay, bullshit. You guys are fucking dumb. They want them likes. They want them fucking pats on the back, and he's throwing them little pats on the back.
You know what he's
He
doing?
didn't
He's
say- he
shutting
didn't
them
say-
down at
Hey,
the same time.
No, stop. He
No,
didn't.
wait, I'm talking about job
He didn't say I came into the shop today and all of a sudden now I want to fuck you and let's get in trouble.
Bro,
Let's
you know what? Okay, let
He
me.
didn't say that. He said, "Hey, your eyelashes look all right."
I agree with that.
Brother,
I'm telling you
brother.
right now that in
let's get
the
in
environment
trouble.
that we live in today,
I would never
you
fuck
need
that
to
up
know
ever.
who to say that to.
So yes, you're right. And,
Point
and if
blank,
you
period.
throw a little
So,
bit,
am I saying that like that is an inappropriate comment? Not. I didn't say that's inappropriate.
Nikki says, don't be complimenting lashes.
I'm more concerned about how individuals might respond, how each individual might take that. Like, and it's not. This is from a genuine place. I'm saying,
Yes, sir.
You
Yeah,
can
and
be
I under-
100% sincere, just being like, "Hey, your uniform looks squared away," you know, so on and so forth. What if someone says, "Hey, you know what? That same person that you talked about, that's a male. If you saw a female who obviously had a nice physique, and you said, "Hey, looks like you've been working out. You're looking real good." Could that sailor take it the wrong way?
yes.
Yes, and there's a way you say it to him.
Exactly. And I'm not saying you're saying it wrong. I'm
we-
saying that you have to be careful.
But we go
For
back
anyone who's listening
Right.
out there.
And the careful is the way you say it to him. That's
Exactly.
me being careful.
That's what I'm saying. So somebody could take what your comment about, "I see you got your
Yes.
eyelashes done. It looks real nice." They could take that as a way of, Chief acknowledge he noticed that I got my eyelashes done. I'm telling you from experience. And I'm not saying just eyelashes. I'm not saying from that. But it's very easy from a supervisory position. Okay, let me put it to you like this. We already touched on the fact that a lot of these females, this is the first time leaving home.
Okay.
Not only is this their first time leaving home, but this is, for some females,
First time
as
they've
a
seen
chief,
attention like this.
no, as a chief, you are one of the first male adult men figures that they've ever encountered
is the
because they
RDC's
may
part.
have grown up in a single family home. You understand what I'm saying?
You're important.
No, what I'm saying is, as the first male that they might have encountered,
And your
a
eyelashes look
compliment for them, you have to be careful how you interact with
Yes.
them because it could spark ideations. that,
You are not wrong.
You are
CJ.
not
You
wrong.
are not
but
wrong
in
at all.
16 years of me being in the military, I've never had a rumor about me being inappropriate. I've never had.
that's an
anything-
attribute to your character.
Right.
I believe that
Right.
100%. I'm saying, as a whole, people who's listening.
This isn't the View. He's talking for him, and he's saying,
What do you mean the view?
Chad, watch this. Chad, because you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
When you go on social media, right? And
I'm telling you from
Right.
a fellow chief,
Right.
Right?
that
Be
brother,
careful.
brother to brother.
Brother to brother.
Right.
Be careful who
No,
you
not
compliment.
brother to
You see
brother.
what I'm
That's
saying?
us.
This is one of
You
those
guys are brother
situations
to
where
brother.
maybe you
Brother
just
to
might need to
brother.
hear it. You
All right.
know what I'm
Brother to
saying?
brother.
Be
All right.
careful who you might
Right.
give that type of
All right, let me
compliment.
jump in.
That's what I'm saying.
Nikki in the chat says, "Yep, don't be complimenting lashes. No, don't compliment them girls." And Sailor and Wife will take that, and it'd be a third season of You if you've seen that Netflix show You. All right, like meaning like the wife is gonna start cutting bitches' heads off or something. I don't know.
Okay, so listen.
But hold on. All right, I understand what you're saying. As long as it's working for you, cool. But always remember, things can always go to a bad spot, right?
Real quick.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And so everything CJ and everything you guys say is cool, but know yourself, know the situation, and everything like that. I will never ever do any of that
Me neither.
because I'll lose my life. Some
There's
other little sailor's gonna lose their life, and Nikki gonna be locked up, and our kids will be
There's a
homeless.
reason
Okay,
I've been through all the tours I've been through. I'm talking about RDC was like a landmine, man. RDC was getting burnt left and right.
Of course.
You got 112 people who would literally do whatever you tell them to do. If I told these recruits by week 8, I need you guys to take this building apart brick by brick. Hey, our park, let's go, guys. Chief said take the building apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a lot of power. So I've had female recruits, and this is not to get too graphic or anything, you know, and I'm not going to be like
be
gross
taken
with it.
advantage of.
No, what I'm saying is after boot camp, send me messages about things that I'm just like, I had no fucking idea. You
Oh,
know?
okay.
And I'm not in a fucking attractive guy.
Inappropriately coming
Like,
at
they
you.
were just like, Chief, you have no idea, this, that, and the other, so on and so forth. You know, and the whole time I'm la 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 in my own world, fucking being an RDC. You know what I'm saying? Hey, recruit, you look, you know, look at those boots. Those boots look good today. Chief, you don't understand what that meant. That you know what I'm saying?
It's weird.
How the fuck did
It's
that
weird.
fucking?
How can I? Okay, so can I come? So wait a minute. In the same breath that I say that, because I've done this before too. I've come in the office and say, so you mean to tell me you can go get your lashes done or your hair done, and look nice here, but what pays you on the 1st and 15th, you can't put any of that same effort into, and your boots are fucked up, or your uniform. Is
So
fucked
you
up?
know what?
Same
That's
breath you've done
hold
that.
on.
Yes.
Yeah, right on.
So
Respect.
that's more like the approach I take, right? Because I do a lot with gentlemen, right? Where I'm like, hey, you a sneakerhead? They're like, oh yeah, Chief, you know, yo, I got the drip, but yeah, your uniform looks like shit.
Exactly.
Huh?
So you telling me that you take pride in yourself outside of here, but when you come here, you're okay with looking like shit?
If I cared about the Navy, I would steal that.
But that's
Well, I
a
don't really
leadership. That's a leadership style, right?
Right. But like,
I like
you know,
that.
it's just like
That's fucking-
it's like
dope.
advice, right?
That's the best way to go about it.
Because and that's why I say when I go, I like and you said, you know, would you say, Chad, about like I'm knocking them down or whatever, right?
It's a different leadership style.
Right,
It's a
right.
different leadership style.
But I'm not talking about that. But like it's like I'm. You said something about like I'm setting them up, but then knocking them down, right? I don't know. Someone said that, right?
So I'm not trying to say you're setting them up and knocking them down. You're giving them the compliment they deserve, right? For saying, hey, your uniform looks good.
No, he's saying
That could be better.
Are you a sneakerhead? Because you spend hundreds
no,
on
I-
that.
I
but look
get
at your
that.
uniform.
I'm going back to what I said before he started that, right? So the whole sneakerhead thing, that's fucking dope. That's shit that I would do. Like telling you, hey, so you do this. How come you couldn't do that?
Well, no, that's not what I'm saying. I don't use it like that.
That's
I kinda
exactly
like
what
that,
you're saying. Though.
No. It's not about spending the money or this or that, right? It's about you telling me your pride in yourself ends
Yes.
at a certain line, right? Because Nick, okay,
Boom.
I know you into sneakers.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck what you spend your money on.
Right.
That's not my point. My point is when I know when you walk out the house, you're walking out to look good. You got your
Jackson's
shoes, your
tonight,
fit,
for sure.
right? You took a shower. You use your washcloth and your bar of
Spice
soap,
bomb. Spice
right?
bomb.
You use your spicy bomb grenade, Nova Scotia, whatever it was.
You ain't
I
catch
heard
that. No.
washcloth.
Yeah.
Got to.
Yeah.
Nasty people.
Hold on. Hey, we ain't getting into that right now. Hold on. Stay on track. But right, I know you do that. I know you do that no matter if you putting this on right here, and I know you do that even if you put on the green thing that makes you look like an avocado. You doing the same thing,
It's a grenade, dude.
right? There's other sailors that they'll do it when they put it on they fit to go out and have a good time, but when they put on the avocado thing, they don't even look like they showered. They don't look like they put nothing in their hair. They're nothing, right? I told J.O. a couple weeks ago, like I made a joke about it. The way I'm a joker, right? I was like, hey, sir, you got any plans for this weekend and stuff? He's like, no, not really. He's like, how about you? And he was like, oh, I was like, well, I already got my hair cut, so I'm good for this weekend if anything does come up. Right, while I'm looking at him and his shaggy ass. And you know what? It wasn't that it was really like long or anything. It was that it was unkept. He don't comb his damn hair. Put something in it, a little bit of something, right?
You know what, Josh?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many arguments I've got into with sailors and about, okay, so case in point, like you talking about shaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we first sat down, Chief, you don't understand, man. They just trying to hold me down. Like, what you mean? Like, what they doing, bruh? Like, tell me what your division's doing, because I'm in a whole nother division. Man, these motherfuckers talking about I need a haircut and I need a shave. You joined the military, bro. Like,
Yeah.
what did you think they were going to tell you to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That to me personally, that's a struggle that I have to like constantly try to fit and file. Okay, this is a legitimate argument. This is, bruh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a constant fucking, like, I can't tell you how many times this is like, Chief, you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? He getting on me. He telling me I need a haircut. Dog, okay, let me get my ID real quick. Pick your shit out. Bruh, you can dread your shit right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But isn't
your
it like,
shit is fucking 8 inches long, bro.
Isn't
How
it-
long is it supposed to be?
isn't it for me,
4?
right? A person that all like, you know, at given times, you can pull my hair out and be like, oh, you need a haircut, Chief.
Now
right?
that
But this is my
the
thing.
only rebuttal. That's the only rebuttal that I always give them. You know what I'm saying?
Is
Because
what?
I can't tell you how many times I've seen slick hair, you know.
But this is what I'm going to though, right? This is what I'm going to is like, I really don't care too much. I got into it with this homie at work about this, right? I really don't care about how long your hair is. Is it combed and does it look professional? Because if it does, and I really can't tell how long it is in uniform,
Then I'm not gonna.
then I'm gonna keep moving, and I don't give a shit, right? I'm not gonna bug you about it because you're not looking to get
the
bugged.
question is, who decides professional or not?
Oh, well, in that moment, I decide. Because if you're
Exactly,
annoying
and
me
that-
with the way you look, then I'm going to say something.
But see,
I
that-
caught a kid with a mullet at work. I stopped him. I said, yo, man.
9 times out of 10, that's a Caucasian though.
He wasn't.
You know, what was?
No, I'm fucking lying. He sure was.
I was gonna say.
But I was just like, hey, I was like,
Put you like this.
I was like, hold on.
This is the argument that I do support. The military's professional standards. The military's professional appearance standards are biased. It's culturally,
Sure.
ethnically biased.
But
And
they've
it's
done
based
a lot
off-
lately
it's
to
based
help
off
it.
Of, I mean, this was literally created 80 to 90 years ago.
Mhm.
The standard.
Well, actually, no. Like, I mean, they had beards in like the 80s. So, like-
No. I'm talking about what you consider clean cut. That originated from 1940s,
right. But
1930s.
then they had beards again.
I'm not
like in the
arguing
80s.
beards. I'm saying clean cut,
He's talking about
Clean
haircut.
cut.
The
Haircut,
high-end
haircut only?
haircut.
Oh, well, we're not even allowed well, high and tights just got authorized, so most people are getting a fucked up wrong haircut anyways.
Fucked up, bro.
but you know what? This is my.
You know what I mean? Like,
This is what I mean. Okay, let me ask you a question. What is it? What is it about males? Have you never seen a male wearing long hair that look professional?
Yes.
yeah, I mean, yes, Thor.
Keanu Reeves.
No. hold on.
Keanu.
I'm talking about military. By long hair.
Thor.
I'm talking about braids on black men.
Nipsey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Stop trolling.
It's not a
You a
troll.
troll. No,
I'm
he
dead
is.
ass.
He,
I'm
no,
not.
he is.
Nipsey. Yeah, clean cut.
Oh my God!
You did.
Get that poster off. Goddamn wall.
Okay, so this has been an argument
Brother.
that I've used in the past, right? Case in point. Okay, so I brush my hair and I have waves. In order for me to accomplish waves, I wear a do-rag.
Mhm.
A do-rag is banned on a military base. You cannot wear a do-rag
Yeah.
walking down the street, whatever the case might be. Your hair does not naturally stay that way. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
Yeah, you need gel for that, right?
Pomade, don't. I'm not 12.
Pomade, gel, whatever it is that you guys do, right? Why can't I wear
You
my
guys,
do-rag?
wow.
Yeah, I meant that.
Well, so, okay, so let me answer a couple things.
But why is it I can't wear a
One,
do-rag?
I don't
Because
know.
Culturally, not you, but culturally, the Navy feels as though it presents a thuggish or unprofessional appearance in civilian attire. I'm in civilian attire and I want to wear a do-rag to keep my hair laid down.
Yeah.
I know as a mixed individual who's not full black, my waves won't lay down unless I'm wearing a do-rag.
Oh, so you ain't that wavy?
I'm wavy right now if y'all want to check. You know what I'm saying? And this
Wave check.
without a do-rag,
Nick,
I'm still swimming. You know what I'm
Nick, wait.
Shit. I'm surfing. But I'm a white boy, so
No, you ain't. You ain't surfing that.
Those are nice.
Those are ripples. That's a pond. You got surfing the ocean on the big
You don't
kahunas.
see waves on that?
No, I saw.
I
I ain't worried about your waves. What I'm saying is that I don't know the answer why you can't wear a do-rag. I don't fucking make that policy. One thing, I could pull out my ass and be like, do they treat it like underwear? Like it's an undergarment kind of thing? So then you can't wear your underwear out there? I don't fucking know. Whatever. You said, could braids be professional? Yes, they can. Again, myself, I really don't give too many shits what you got going on with your hair. As long as it's not like ridiculous fucking out of this world. Right? And I'm strictly talking about, I really don't give a shit. One of my sailors.
it's too subjective, though.
But
For you to say
sure,
that as
sure.
long as it's not out of this world. What's out
He
of the
literally
world?
said it depends on how you make me feel.
Right.
Right.
Because at that time, if I'm looking at you and I think I'm just about, hey man, like you might want to check your hair. Like I'm not telling you again. Whenever I correct someone, and I'm not sure. I just be like, hey, I'm not telling you to go and fuck yourself right now. I'm saying you might want to run it past your chief, or you might want to just do a double check on yourself.
First
Like
off,
just
I take offense to you telling me to fuck myself or unfuck myself.
okay, cool. So I just be like, hey, do a double check in the mirror, maybe. Maybe that's a little bit more pink than you
Can
think
you
it is
still say
red.
that in the fleet? Is that not a problem?
I don't know. It depends on who you're saying it to, right,
I
Nick?
think so, bro.
I'm
In today's Navy, it feels like that's the
I
way
want to go
things
back
are.
to Nick's comment about the eyelashes. And I think that the eyelash comment is okay as long as he knows his sailors, which is what I was trying to get back to. I couldn't get it through because people had
CJ.
different
So you know
opinions.
what? I feel like that's where you tread a line.
Yes.
If you
But
choose to tread that line, tread that line. If you know that sailor that way, all I'm saying is I've seen so much, and in my 20 years in the military,
it's not
that,
worth
like,
it.
It's not.
Yeah.
like,
Obviously,
you know
I'm
what?
complimenting
The-
this sailor
the-
because
the
this sailor works with me,
acknowledgement
and I
of a
know this
change
sailor.
to
Sure.
a sailor's appearance.
You get what I'm saying? I'm
Outside
not
of
walking
the
down the P-way.
uniform could very much so be taken the wrong way by that sailor. Point blank. Period. Like, take it how you.
But,
But
Chad,
again-
but Chad, obviously I know these sailors, so again, I have a rapport with them, so that's why. Like,
That's
Says
the point
every
that I was
Master
trying to make
Chief
with
on
you.
every Navy
Like,
Times fucking
Knowing your sailors and knowing what
news
you can
article,
and
bro.
cannot say
No, they
to
don't.
them.
bruh.
And,
No, they
and if
don't.
it's a
I can't-
hey, one at a time,
Hold on, CJ.
one time,
Hold on,
CJ.
CJ.
So
Hold
I'll
on,
say this much.
hold on, CJ, hold on. Let Chad go.
if it's a brand new sailor that just checked in and she came in with popping eyelashes or eyebrows or whatever, you're not gonna say nothing. You're not gonna say nothing because you don't know that sailor, right? Like, oh, it might look good, right? But you're not gonna say nothing. So if you know your sailor and they're taking care of themselves every day, and however long goes by until you decide as the chief it's okay to say it. Oh, you got them eyelashes did. That's good.
Chad, watch
That's
this.
not what he
Chad,
said.
Yes, it
That's
is.
got them
That's
eyelashes
exactly what
exactly what he
All right,
said.
so
I'ma
you know
tell
what?
you what, can I-
You sitting
can I
on
go?
the stand. You sitting on the stand.
Sit on the stand.
Look, hear me out.
Damn, you on the stand
Yo,
now?
Can I- can I
Did
paint the-
Chief XYZ compliment you on your eyelashes? Yes, he did.
Can.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's-
Can I say- hey,
just-
Hold on.
just
All right,
shit
let
don't
Nick go.
sound right.
Hold on,
That's
hold
all
on,
I'm
hold on.
saying.
Let Nick go.
This
Let
shit
Nick
don't
go.
sound right,
First
you know
off,
what I mean?
that was kind of funny. Go ahead,
It
Nick.
was. It was. It's a
This
long.
shit don't sound right, bro. Like,
CJ, hold on.
It's a long work week. Friday we come right before we get out.
my husband didn't notice. He did. You know what I'm saying?
Right before.
CJ, chill.
Right before we get up out of there, right, for the weekend, and I'm giving everybody their recognition. Hey man, I appreciate it. Y'all guys work hard today. You guys work hard. You guys work hard this week. I appreciate it. More importantly, y'all taking a little extra steps to make sure that outside doesn't interfere with what we got going on. You make my job a lot easier. What you mean, Chief? Well, for one, I don't got people come to me about y'all. I don't have the other problems other chiefs had. Nobody's come to me about your appearances. You all look good. You go
Nailed
down
it.
the line,
Nailed it.
bruh. You set the example. Why don't next eval cycle? Why don't you do a PFA? You always in the gym. You look nice. You look the part. Boom. Come down the line. Bam, bam. Her. You looking good. You looking like a model sailor. You looking like somebody that needs to be on a poster. You got the eyelashes did. Like it's nothing.
No.
I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
not
you're you're fine. I just
know I am.
That's fine.
Look,
I hold on. I just want to ask, like, Do you have a fucking thing for eyelashes or something? You keep coming back to it. Like, is that like a?
He's taking it somewhere.
I'm not. I understand what you're saying. I'm saying as a blanket statement. Be careful who you give those kind of compliments to. That's all I'm saying.
This isn't boot camp. This isn't RDC where I need to
again
be careful about what I say to these
recruits. When you're in the fleet, even in the fleet, I'm telling you right now. 2 to
3 years past.
One at a time. One at a time.
Look,
no one can hear what's going on.
Because I think even you misunderstand the criticism I'm giving for that statement. I'm not saying that you're coming from a place that is like impure per se. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that to tread that line of speaking towards a female's appearance outside of uniform regulations opens yourself up. It could open yourself up to that particular female taking it a certain kind of way, or it could you could open yourself up to how other people perceive what you said.
And if you had said that
Point blank, period.
If you had said that way initially, we wouldn't even be talking about it.
Hold on.
But you didn't.
I did. I literally said, I know what you're trying to say, and I'm not going to say you're wrong for saying it. If you replay what I said, but I said it can be dangerous to say that, especially talking to, you never know.
You're absolutely right with what you're saying right now. I just want you to know that I agree with you 100%.
I'm curious how you're saying I didn't say it that way in the beginning.
I didn't hear it that way. Let me say
that's
that.
what I was trying to say.
Let me say that.
I think I'm the most sober, so I understood what you guys were both saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
I don't think it's a bad thing if you know, quote unquote, know your sailor. But as a general rule of thumb, you never know how.
Like I said before,
I never knew some of the things I was saying was affecting people the way it was. I had no fucking idea. I had no idea. And then next thing you know, I'm getting inboxes like, remember that one time? And I'm just like,
Hey, how many inboxes did you get with, hey, asshole, motherfucker, like, you told me this shit, like, fuck you? Like, how many of those did you get?
First off, as a RDC, you don't tell anyone anything because they're already in the Navy.
Okay, so fast forward through your RDC life and let's go to the next level. Right? So that's my point, is when you were an RDC, you're dealing with, we call them kids. They're not kids.
They're
adults, right? Some of them are kids. Some of them are adults, and they just want to do something different. You know what I'm saying? As a chief, and you've been there for a minute, right, with the division and the people you're talking to, it's a bit different experience than as an RDC. So that's the point I'm trying to make, is we're not talking to kids right out of high school.
No, these kids are kids right out of high school.
Some, yes.
Some, yes. Yeah,
the majority.
absolutely.
Look at your divisions. Okay, I can't speak for everyone because I don't know where you guys work. But I can tell you right now where I work at, and you guys, all three of you have been in my command. If you were E6 and below, you're 25 to 26 or below. Majority. There's a couple of 30-year-olds or whatever the case.
When last time you been to a ship?
Before I came here.
Which was?
G-Del.
2.5 years ago.
He doesn't remember because he doesn't remember where his uniform is right now.
I was on the USS Ronald Reagan. The last day I left there was June of 2019.
June of 2019.
So 2.5 years ago. Exactly. 2.5 years ago.
Okay. My division on my last ship, I didn't have anybody straight out of high school. I had
bailed out of high school?
Straight out of high school. I didn't have anybody straight out of high school.
I'm going to be honest with you, man. You can't compare your record to mine.
Oh, ain't no one trying to compare records, CJ. What are you talking about?
He's saying he hasn't had nobody since straight out of high school.
No, that's not what he said, CJ. He said no, CJ,
Josh,
listen.
hear me out. He said, please, hear me out just for a second. I'm repeating what he said.
It's cool to be cool.
I've never heard anybody, I have very few people right out of high school in my division.
That's not what he said, CJ. He said in his last ship, in his last division, he had no one that was straight out of high school. Which tells me that he had no one that was 18 to 19 years.
Same sentiment.
No, that's a big difference. That's a big difference, right? That's
okay.
That's
in your last ship, you had nobody.
You're not listening to what I said. I said on my last ship in my last division, We don't just sit in PC all day for our 3 years. We rotate.
You don't know what I do.
Exactly. I can't.
Exactly.
PC's production control.
Right.
Exactly. You have no idea what I do.
I can't compare my record to yours. Nobody was doing that.
No, but
Right.
what I'm
Your
saying
Hall
is,
of Fame,
Hold on,
your
CJ.
GOAT.
comment that I was saying
But listen.
about high school students.
No, but you were saying.
And then you literally said, from my previous command, nobody was from high school.
No,
I didn't say that.
CJ.
Again, you're not listening.
CJ, chill, bro.
I
That's not
said-
what he said.
In my last ship on my last
You know what's
division.
really annoying? People telling me to chill, and I'm not even like.
right,
I'm
don't
literally
chill.
just
But-
trying to
but-
understand.
Right,
No,
but
you're not. You're
but
saying that I didn't say something.
I'm trying to understand you right now.
Right,
This
so-
is understanding. This is understanding. What I said was on my last ship in my last division.
That's why I question coming here every time.
you good.
No,
You just gotta let him talk.
I'm dead serious. Every time I come here, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to come here. Yeah, but I'm listening to you 100%. I hear you clearly. I literally do. I hear you clearly.
Easy
Yeah.
day. Watch this. On my last ship in my last division, I didn't have nobody that was straight out of high school. Now, when I first got there, let me chill. When I first got to the boat, when I got to S8, I had a lot of people that was straight out of high school, and that was their first command.
Yeah.
Because that's usually where they go. They go to S8. I was S8 LPO. But by the time I rotated, my last division, I had people that was second, third, fourth tour, getting ready to retire, that I'm leading.
They built on that experience, right?
That's what I was trying to say. So I didn't have to. There was nothing I had to relearn. We all knew the game.
Right.
We all knew.
So
what
are you
we
saying
said.
that, like, in your previous command, you're not accustomed to having sailors where this is their first command?
No, I think what he's saying is from division to division, from command to command, it's made up of all kinds of things. If you're in a deck department, undesignated seaman, a lot of those are probably going to be straight out of high school, right? If you're an LS that's on a big deck in S1 financials, you're probably not going to have a lot of straight out of high school people because you're going to have the
I'm just
more
trying to-
senior toured people, just like you, right? In the aviation world, if you're in QA, are you having straight out of high school people up in QA?
No, I'm curious what the takeaway from that was. What was that like? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't
get
know,
it.
but-
Everyone
but-
goes from different divisions.
Right, and that's
so
all
on
he's
and
saying.
forth. But
So
the
I think
argument
it
that
goes
was
back
saying
to
was
hold
about
on.
Individuals who come out of high school, different individuals perceive things different things.
Right, I think what we're getting back
Yeah,
to,
we started there.
I
We
think
started
what
I'm trying to
for
follow
sure.
where
I
we're
think
going
what we're
with
getting back to is when you can say things to what and when sailors, right? If you're in undesignated seaman division, deck department, right? You probably shouldn't be talking about eyelashes and shit,
Yes.
right? If you're in QA, where what's QA made of? Chiefs and fucking first classes,
I think it's even worse.
right? Like you
First-
probably shouldn't be saying that at all.
Period.
Yes.
I don't
Right,
see a
so-
scenario either way.
No, we're not saying that.
I don't
Look,
I
that,
think
that's fine.
junior
Not saying
sailors
literally.
or senior sailors, and we can agree to disagree. I don't care. I don't think that you had any malice intent when you said it.
No one ever does.
I
But
literally said, but they do though. A lot of people do. A lot of people are trying to slide in.
I'm not trying to fuck the hell.
I don't think you are.
Right. So therefore, I can.
Yeah.
Because
So
I'm
I
not
get
trying
that,
to do
but
that.
you know what?
I can
Okay.
speak.
There's a
how I
joke
wanna
by
speak.
Bill Barr. Nope. Pause. There's a joke by Bill Barr. One of my favorite. Bill Burr. Excuse me. Yep. Do you guys know him?
Yes.
Bill Burr. This is
he's from
fucking-
Star Wars.
He's fucking hilarious, man. He's one of my favorite comedians. And he says he's talking to a girl and he's like messing with her in the bedroom or whatever. He's like, and the girl is saying, "No, stop, don't do that." You know what I'm saying? Blah, blah, blah. And then when they go to court, the transcript reads, "Did she say no? Stop, don't do that?" You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "She didn't say it like that. She didn't fucking say it like that." You know what I'm saying? And he's like real adamant about like, you don't understand how I meant it. You know what I'm saying? But on the same token, it doesn't matter how you meant it. It's the fact that you said it.
You're right.
You
And
guys
that's
are-
why I'm trying. You said nobody ever does that in an argument, and you were wrong. But look, the point of the matter is, you see what I'm saying? If you choose to say it, that's fine. I'm not gonna tell you not to. To the people who's listening, I'm saying it can be very problematic referring to females, noticing things like that. Hey, I see you got your eyelashes done.
That's not how I
Very,
was saying.
very casually, or what? I don't know how you say it.
Because you didn't let me get it out. You just went on your soapbox.
Okay, I'm not trying to be on a soapbox. I
But,
thought we
hey.
were giving opinions.
You right.
We're giving advice today.
Yeah.
Hey, so let's wrap that up because
Very nice.
if we go longer, they'll cut me off like they did last time on the fucking Spotify fuckers. So closing remarks. Y'all got any?
Yeah, man. I got one for you. Hey, this was awesome conversation, right? A lot of good things said, a lot of back and forth. I think it was great. I love hanging out with you guys every time we hang out. So I appreciate you guys letting me come hang out with you guys. That's what I got to say.
That was it?
Do you want me to go on? Cause
No, I thought
I'll make this a Chad podcast right now.
okay. No, you're good, Chad. CJ?
I just got to say, I think that I'm very happy that you are following your passion.
I appreciate
Yes.
That you're doing something that you enjoy.
Yes.
Even though, like I said, man, internally, it's my own deal. Not you, not this podcast. Every time I come here, I leave here like, man, I need to stop going there. That's my own thing. It's not nothing going on here. Think, the fact that you're following your passion and you love it, bro, I support you 100%. That's really the number one driving force why I keep coming back. But I wish you all the luck, man.
I appreciate that. Thanks. Nick?
And man, thank you for having me. To anybody that's listening, anybody that's here, my intent is never to, rub people the wrong way. I apologize if I'm operating on a level outside of your understanding, but my intent is never to make people feel uncomfortable or, because I like coming here and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey.
Yeah,
Like,
damn right.
That's humbling in
Yes,
itself.
sir.
Like, you got a passion, and then you allowing people that you feel comfortable with and close to and that you have a connection with to come here. So I would never, not take upon the opportunity to come kick it with you. You know what I'm saying? Or politic with you. I respect all the opinions and views, you know what I'm saying? And I just found out that my career might not be as what I thought it was today. But hey,
It never is.
you
It
know
never
what I
is.
mean?
It never is.
Is it half
It's all
full
good.
or half empty? You know what I mean?
Well, it's half empty because, you didn't fill it up all the way. We
Right.
all know how that works.
But that's it, man.
All right,
That's
so
my spice bomb.
spice bomb grenade fucking cologne shit, which y'all started with. So I mean, I love having y'all, man. Like y'all like it's the boys' night, mini squad on the podcast. And CJ, it hurts me a little bit that you feel that. I know it's internal for you, but I wish you leaving here didn't make you feel like that, right?
Yeah, it's honestly, man, like I said, it's definitely, I don't point a finger to no one else in the podcast when we have conversations. It's just that, honestly, like I said before we turn the mic on, when two people are arguing, no one can tell which one's the fool. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, the snippets that people might hear from me on your podcast, or I understand that now. This is the first experience I've ever had where it's just like when I'm sitting here and I listen back in my truck driving to work, I'll listen to podcasts and I'll be like, even though I feel adamant about what I said, I realized like, wow, that doesn't really summarize who an individual is. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely layers to where individuals are coming from on why they say what they say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as I lost my camera and my helper Chad right here is gonna try to replace that battery on the
Good
side.
job, Jamie.
Young Chad. Chad has no idea what he's doing. He's ET. Don't worry about it though, y'all. I just lost battery on the camera. That's all good. We'll leave it on Chad as he tries to fix that. So it's all good, Chad. Don't worry about it, bro. We'll just go with CJ and you as we close out here. This is gonna be the last episode for the season 1, year 1, right? 70. This is 72, 71 episodes.
Yes, sir.
And it's crazy, right? When I y'all heard me talking shit, and I always share this story, and I don't give a fuck, right? Like I was talking that shit about, I want to start a podcast and this and that, when we all used to work together and stuff, right? No, it's fine, that's fine. And it's just super cool to be doing it, and it's super cool to have you guys always, whenever I'm like, hey man, can you guys help me out and keep the dream alive? And you guys always roger up and be like, yeah man, like for sure. What's the topic or what are we doing? And it's always a good time having you guys over, and I cannot say it enough. Like I truly appreciate you guys. Everyone that has ever been a guest, I appreciate you. Anyone that listens, I appreciate you so much. And like year 2 is gonna keep going. It might slow down a little bit because operational and shit, and life is about to start sucking real bad. But that's the way the Navy goes sometimes, right? So, but we're not going anywhere. 71 episodes with at least 7 more to come soon. So with that, advice. As we started this, and we were talking about advice, and there's a lot of advice that was given today, right? I can't pinpoint anything, right, that in my life that has stood out, right? That like it's just exponentially better than everything else, right? But man, if I don't know, man, I'm like I lost for words in it, right? Like there's so much things people tell you throughout your life that just kind of stick with you and mold you and all that. But a generic one. In relation to what I was just talking about this podcast, like, when you say follow your dreams and things like that, like, everyone here I know is following their dreams in some kind of way. CJ, I know you got your thing going. Chad, I know things are going for you. Nick, it's a matter of time. Not that you don't have nothing, but like right now, like me and you being the ones with the long way to go before we get to where they're at in career milestones.
It ain't a long way, man.
Like you're gonna be there soon enough too, right? And we'll be there together. And so again, man, like just like truly, I am so humbled. You think you humbled Nick by being invited. Like I'm humbled by y'all just still fucking being here, right? After a fucking 12 months of doing it. So thank you all. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of rambling, but man, I love y'all for being here and helping with this shit, man. Like, it's fucking cool to have some real ones around helping me out still. So I appreciate y'all. And don't forget, for more information on how you can support the podcast, please visit us at anchor.fm/Bravo Zulu podcast. The information, views, and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely of Joshua Moore and the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent the DOD, DON, or those of the respected institutions or organizations. Thanks for joining us.